2 surprises today, Christopher.
Two.
So one of them is that we have our full Nerd Rage cast here. We have Joey.
Yo, what?
We have Farrell.
Hey, yo.
And you've already heard the beautiful voice of Christopher Pinkerton. But the other surprise, or the surprise related to that, is we have a guest from the UK that has never been on Nerd Rage before.
Never.
Getting ready to break your Nerd Rage cherry.
Never.
We have Sam.
Hello there.
Now, for those that don't know, Sam and I do a monthly podcast called Shop Talk, where we talk about the ins and outs of third-party Transformers and mainline and official Transformers as well. And you are actually, I just want to give people a little bit of an introduction to who you are. You are actually connected in the scene. At what level can you speak about that?
Is it on the west side where you're connected?
Mm-hmm. Or is it La Cosa Nostra?
No, I shouldn't speak about it for fear of ice. But no, I can speak comfortably about it. I do design work for MMC,
Mastermind Creations. Yep.
I've been involved with them for about 4 years now. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, none of my original designs are out. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, changes soon.
Yeah,
but I've been doing bits of work with them since.
On the way.
And as such, get to see all the little secrets and behind the scenes elements. So
for those that I want to just for those that are unaware, I'm going to read a comment that was left on the last episode of Shop Talk to give people an idea. Let me make sure that I have it right here. April 2025. Terrific episode as always, gentlemen. This remains the best Transformers discussion podcast out there. Love Sam's notes regarding the current state of MMC and those tapes. Big picture, it feels like MMC is dramatically slow. But anyway, go on and on. But the takeaway there is the best Transformers conversation that's out there. And I wouldn't necessarily disagree.
Did they put a 5-star review?
No, probably not. So if fucking one way this street.
Would you guys ever put that outside the paywall?
I might leak one. Some of it is stuff that is in the circle of trust.
No, that's why I asked.
Yeah.
So I've listened to one of them.
So I'd have to go back and like listen to it and then give it like a proofread and see. But we get in the weeds.
Yeah, every so often I'll talk, not in a way that would probably get me in real trouble, but I'll give a bit more of a bigger picture look at and a bit more of a behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. So that's
good.
The occasional one.
The second big surprise, Kanye West dropped Donda 2. So like this is why I find this is why this is so entertaining to me. Okay. So last year he said that he was going to release 3 albums that year: Vultures 1, Vultures 2, Vultures 3, and they were going to be 1 month apart, each of them, right? Vultures 1 came out I think a month late. Vultures 2 came out I think 4 months late, and then nothing else. Then this year he started the year with, I'm going to make 2 albums, Vultures 3 and an album called Bully. And he put a version of Bully on YouTube that's all set to one nonstop like wrestling match.
I've not heard anything about this.
Yeah, which is like bizarre, but par for the course, I suppose.
Sure.
To be fair, it's not the most bizarre thing he's done recently.
Tip of the iceberg, some would say. So Bully and Vultures 3. Well, then him and Ty, the guy who was collaborating with for Vultures, had a falling out. So then Vultures 3 is off the table. So now it's just going to be Bully. And then he started talking about another project called World War 3. And maybe he was going to do Bully and World War 3. Or maybe Bully has become World War 3. The details got sketchy. And all of this has been all year long. And then randomly on a Tuesday, he was like, here's Donda 2.
Are you trying to say that Kanye is not put together?
You just expect the unexpected. Anyway,
No, I mean,
I've had most of it.
So I have Kanye news as well. So, he has before said some really bad things and got his store shut down. Mm-hmm. He was selling his $20 merch again. So as I demonstrated, and Joey has seen that in use, the Yeezy pods, the $20 Yeezy pods that I have. Actually, I think probably the best use for those was for squatting. Is that what we decided? That I guess those are still probably
they're still
available. So he had a new season, that came out, shirts and everything. So he had some slides. So I'm like, well, $20 slides. Great, we'll get those.
Sure.
So I ordered a pair, and then his site got shut down. I'm like, well, who knows what's going to happen? And then I saw some people were like, yeah, they started showing up. And then they literally, some dude dropped it off at my house. Some, well, these end of mile carriers, that's what they do. They, you just show up, they give you a bunch of packages, and you just go throw them on people's porches.
Yeah.
And honestly, I had them laid out to bring, and fucking Bone didn't bring them. There's no indication whatsoever that these are made by anyone. They're literally like shitty Crocs,
really,
with no holes.
They're probably 3D printed.
No, they're not.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Are you sure?
The only thing that gives you any indication that this is a project that was done specifically for anybody was it comes in a drawstring bag, like the cheapest drawstring bag you could get with a elastic on the top. And on the inside of that, there's a tag that's got like whatever the model number of the shit, YZ dash something.
Yeah.
It's that's the only indication that these are any sort of branded anything.
Wow.
So the speculation is they just found something. I'm surprised somebody hasn't found these exact shoes on Temu for $2 or something.
I mean, it's wild that all that shit was $20.
Yeah, I mean, I ordered a shirt and pants last time, and the sizing was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I ended up giving my shirt to, I think my daughter sleeps in it or something.
Yeah, Jaina has a Vulture shirt, and it looks good on her.
Yeah,
if you're like a really small frame person, you wear something super oversized, it kind of looks cool. But if you're like not a small frame person, you wear something like oversized, you look like just a trash can. You know?
Yeah.
There was something else but even though we're talking about Kanye, today is not a Kanye day, Christopher.
It is.
Today is a no limit day.
It is.
Because today we are the 504 boys.
That's right.
Make some noise for the 504
Master P was on AEW recently.
Was he really?
Still alive?
So he is the president of basketball operations at it's New Orleans University or something like that, and that's where they were having this show, and it was the most awkward celebrity in the ring thing I've ever seen. It's awful. He actually owns a wrestling promotion too in New York City called HOG.
No, Hog
got it's.
Why would you spell it out? You just say it.
Because I should have probably just said it's House of Glory Wrestling.
Is it Jesus Wrestling?
I prefer Hog.
Hey, shout out to
so to speak.
Jose. He goes to that show a good week.
Glory Hole Wrestling. Sounds cool.
Shit,
Yeah.
man. Hold on. Let me write that in my book of ideas.
Yeah. So let's go. Sam, as a guest, we'll start with you. How has your time recently been? Have you done anything, seen anything, been to any conventions, watched anything?
How was your
read
ejaculate?
anything? How's your ejaculate?
Oh, yeah, ejaculates.
Weaker than normal.
So mine is too.
Bobby's so happy to find
Mine
kindred
is too.
spirits.
Bobby's going the wrong way on this ejaculate thing.
Yeah, some people have sent me like
links
and supplements and everything else. So like I might be out here fucking slinging it here. So. Yeah.
But no, I mean I've not been anywhere particularly exciting any time recently, but I have been trying to catch up on loads of media.
Yeah.
I thought I was up to date on Andor, but then
Three more episodes
dropped
Oh,
while I
shit.
was on a plane.
Damn it.
So you want to go ahead and have the Andor talk now?
I'm fine to do that.
Okay.
I'm caught up.
How do you? I've watched them all. How do you feel?
So are we going to try to keep it spoilery?
No, 'cause this is coming out.
Well, he hasn't seen the last three.
I'll be fine.
Okay.
So
Cost of doing business.
for those
true,
for those
true.
listening, this is episodes 1 through 6.
Yes. So the first 2 weeks worth have come out.
Correct at this point. So how do you feel?
I have a Star Wars boner again.
Really? That's great.
I fucking love it. So I watched the first 3 episodes twice. Like, fucking incredible. Like, yeah, it's Star Wars, but part of me is like, even if this wasn't Star Wars, it's so fucking good. They build the tension. They show these fucking amazing parallels. Like, everybody's criticism, and I understand it, is episode. Well, it's kind of in the first arc. The goof troop on when he brings the TIE.
Oh, on the jungle planet.
He brings the fighter back, and those 2 goof troops are fighting.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been criticizing like that part, but to me that shows like that's the bottom of these are the people, literally. These are the boots on the ground. People starving to death, right? In these crashed ships. And then, they said, well, they lost like 40 people and so these may just be these dipshits they picked up 2 stops ago that just joined, right? We don't know. And then you've got, the top of the food chain up here with Mon Mothma and then the Empire, and it's just such an awesome parallel. And the storytelling is fucking amazing.
What were the criticisms of that? Because I thought the goof
Just that
troop,
it was-
as you put it,
well,
was great because it's clear that they're like amateurs, specifically without a leader anymore.
And I
in
think
fighting
that
with
got
nothing to do.
I think that got lost on some people. Like, why are these people making these? Why are they fighting? Why are they making these awful decisions? And it's because nobody knows what the fuck to do,
Yeah.
so they're fighting. I mean, it's half the problems in the world. It's oh, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to throw a rock at you, Farrell.
What I do?
I don't know. I'm just.
I even stirred your coffee.
I know with a spork, might I add.
You don't know what you
It all
did.
does the
That's
job,
problem. That's why the rock got thrown.
This is over the stirring.
If you don't
thing.
know, I'm not going to tell you.
So
Oh, how very today of us.
so hang
on
on.
this podcast.
We haven't have we just discussed stirring on this? I don't think we brought it up. So I always my entire fucking life have stirred in a circle. So when you stir a drink, do you stir in a circle?
Is there a different kind of stirring? I thought that's what that was.
I have recently I've recently been educated because I watched Farrell stir something back and forth, and I see your reaction. Even in British, I understand what that means.
Well, I mean, it's a reaction that goes,
puzzled.
I guess I can't explain why that wouldn't work.
I think it works better, actually. It agitates
does,
the liquid
it does.
better.
and it works better. So now every time I stir anything, I think it is fuck.
What do you get halfway through swirling it and go, wait, I'm doing it wrong?
No, I think
Switch
about it.
to the zigzag.
I think about it when I have
start
the
writing
spoon.
your name.
Yeah.
I always do them both ways. I go one way and then go the other. Just make sure,
Oh, okay.
make sure to get it even.
So I've done the circle. I'm not against trying the back and forth method, but I've done the circle all my life, and I really haven't had any complaints about my,
Oh no, I'm
But I
just
guess
saying.
you don't. Hey, you don't know the color TV's better till you throw out the old black and white. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or until you upgrade your Amazon Prime.
Your Amazon green to Amazon blue.
That's right. That's right.
Never.
So back to Andor.
Yeah.
I mean, I could talk about this for hours. It's fantastic.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We've
What
got
about
all day.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I know. I mean, what's your?
So
I know your perspective is actually before you dig in. What did you think
So
of the first 3 episodes?
I've only seen the first 3,
Yes.
and I'm actually going to find this really interesting to see
Okay.
what takes are from the... Because I watched the first 3 and was exactly like you. It was the Star Wars boner is back.
Yeah.
Especially after the slow, let's say, wilting of the Star Wars boner in the last few years.
Yeah, there's been no ejaculate for Star Wars.
But as soon as I sort of got to the end of episode 1, I was hooked. I was watching it with my flatmate. It was midnight.
What a
And we...
I thought a figure fell down.
Like we went,
never
okay,
know.
Well, we've got work tomorrow. And we were like, okay, we've got work tomorrow, but we are going to have to now watch all of these because
I did
it's
the same
that
thing.
great. And yeah, I just loved every minute of it. I thought seeing, as you say, the different levels of the story going on was great. Like each of them building up their own tension. It's you know, so often you get like parallel stories. One's building tension, and then one will sort of release tension. But here it's just go, well, here's one horrible situation. Let's go to the next one that's building and ratcheting and ratcheting.
And the Dedra and Cyril, like that woman
Dedra
who plays
is
that
a great
character,
actress.
Holy fucking shit!
And once again,
The
normal looking person.
Yeah, a normal looking person. The scene with the mom.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I wanted to stand up and
Incredible.
cheer. I would have done whatever horrible thing those kids are doing in the Minecraft movie. I would have done that when that happened. I'm like, oh my god! And poor Cyril's literally just melted on the bed and just like heartbroken on how this is going. Oh man,
It's so like every level of it is so deeply human. Like it's a situation where no one in any of these stories feels like a completely like wild cartoon character.
Yeah.
Even in this
right, and nobody's
situation.
moving coffee cups across the table. There's no magic in this at all. This is literally grit grime.
I think one of the things that is such a like statement of how good it is when Ben Mendelsohn showed back up. I didn't go, oh, okay, we're doing references to movies. I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And his presence was great.
He's great.
Yep. All right, Bobby.
All right. So I think it's beautifully shot. I think it's beautifully acted. Like, I don't think there's one. It might be the overall best acted Star Wars in history.
I think you're right.
Like the over under on it. Like
There's no one doing a bad job.
Yeah.
And there's so many different characters and different styles of performance, but they're all landing.
Yeah. I love the tone. And I love these moments of seeing little things, like seeing the doofs of the doofs that are at the bottom of the barrel of the rebellion versus the most sophisticated level versus the most sort of sketchy level versus the most kind of radical level. I enjoy seeing these little slices of life.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, real quick, I've said for years.
Here it comes.
Hang on. Hang on. Just real quick. I've said for years, the Star Wars universe is so vast, you could tell the slice of life. You could do thousands of those stories. And we've seen it in the books, like the little like one-offs, like they did one recently. It's a bunch of short stories, but, Tales from Jabba's Palace and stuff like that. You could do like little, give me that. Give me those.
And they've done a little bit of that. Right?
Hour-long shots of that.
And it's such a big universe. It's a blank check to pay any creative person you think of. Say, do whatever you want. The further away from the central story you are, the less notes we're going to give you.
Yeah.
Just make it.
Yeah.
Because you'd have so much weird, interesting stuff. And it does feel like, however you are going to feel about it, that it is that. It's just the only example of that we have. And it was only allowed to be made because of that movie.
Here's my issue, and I'm going to extrapolate it.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's boring the shit out of me. Like, I'm bored watching it. Like, I acknowledge all of these good things about it, and yet every episode feels like an hour-long chore.
Wow. So was the second arc harder for you to get through? Even
Yeah,
I will agree. The second arc. The second arc is a slow burn, man.
dude.
There's so much packed into it.
In the midst of all the things that I like, the little moments I like, I feel like there's 3 times as many moments as of characters just whispering to each other, "Don't trust anyone," and then the other person whispering back, "Okay, are you not even Farrell?" And then they're like, "Yeah, not Farrell." And I'd keep my fucking eye on Sam too, like Sam and Farrell. Okay, well, if I were you, I wouldn't trust Joey. Yeah, don't trust.
No, but they don't come out and say that.
No,
I
know, but I'm saying I'm reducing it to the absurd, I guess. But
Written better than that, but they are basically
and I'm just like, I get it. So here's I think that this is a story told with a lot of interesting characters that would be really great surrounding some good characters. Like, there's no character in this that I really give a shit about, with the exception, the one moment that gets me excited, that gets my Star Wars boner, is all the stuff with Saw. That stuff feels like fucking Star Wars to me in a very like, oh, I haven't felt this in a while. It's like
so you like batshit crazy crackheads? Is that what you're saying?
well, no, I just like the kind of overall vibe of it, even down to like the look of the bunkers and the sound of Two Tube's voice. Like it just
love Two Tubes.
I do love Two Tubes, and you know what I love even more than Two Tubes. Two Tubes, which I get both. But like, it just that whole shit and the execution of that one guy and all that, I was like, this is more of what I was expecting this show to be like. But it's not. And like I like Cassian. I like Cassian in Rogue One. I like Cassian in Andor 1. I like Cassian now. But I don't know if he has enough for me to carry a show as a lead. And I don't know if any of them do outside of maybe Saul. But Saul's too batshit crazy to base a whole fucking show around.
And now we know why.
So like I just so I've been calling it to my wife because she hasn't seen the first one. So she's like, "How is it?" And I was like, "I've been calling it Andor."
So this is the first time I've heard anybody. I mean, I can understand why you're saying this, but it's the first time I've heard because I've listened to a lot of talking heads on this stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody's mentioned that at all.
Yeah.
So you were equally bored about the first season.
Yeah. No. I was not as bored with the first season.
Right, okay.
I will tell you, like,
So the beginning of the first season is harder than the end of the first season.
To me, until you get to the heist, it is such a
slow burn.
And I think a lot of people give up on that show. And I always say you got to watch till the heist. I think it's episode 4 or something. But
it's the stuff on that planet. It's the rebellion on that planet that sealed that show for me. At the very end, it's the last episode.
Yeah.
It's the last episode that I'm like that. The last episode of Andor 1 was so fucking good to me that it made the whole season
It's
worth
a complete
watching.
payoff to the whole thing.
Yeah.
It ramps up the satisfaction of this story.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, and I will say this is a. Do you think part of it is because you how do I frame this? You know how this story ends. You know these people. You know these people are dying, right? You assume, and you can only assume the people that almost everybody in this story, in any sort of capacity, past Mothma. You know, you're just going.
Who's also great, by the way.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
She's god damn, she's a good actor.
Yeah.
So hang on.
Yeah.
You know what? You know who does die, and you assume Luthen dies, and you know a lot of these other people go down in a blaze of glory as well. Does that have some impact on your boredom because you have it in your head that you know where we're going already?
No, I don't think so because like it's made me think about Rogue One because I love Rogue One, and it's made me be like why do I love Rogue One? Like, do I find Cassian especially interesting in Rogue One? And the answer is no. I don't find him completely uninteresting, but I don't find him like a Han Solo or type of interesting character, right?
he's a supporting character and a fun supporting character.
Agreed. And there's a little bit of darkness to him that you can tell is there too. Which is, so it's like it's got this little bit of spice, right? So Jyn, do I find her especially interesting? And the answer is not really, but I like her connection to her father and that her father was building the Death Star, and then how she has kind of come up as this like type of person that she is as a result of her upbringing. So I find that interesting. And then like I love the banter with K2SO and Andor and then with everybody. So do I find Chirrut interesting? Like, well, actually I find him a little bit more interesting than most of the characters, but I don't find him interesting really as a lead either. Well, do you find Baze interesting? Well, no, not really, but he adds a little spice. So it's not any of those. But it's the collection. It's the collective together as a unit. I find them great, and I think that my problem with Andor is that like there's no real protagonist that I don't have any buy-in, and they're introducing a lot of protagonist characters, and I don't find any of them remotely interesting. I find Cassian remotely interesting and something that with him with other characters can be built upon. But like his girlfriend, I don't find her interesting. The people on Gorman, don't find them interesting. No. And then some of the rebellion, like Lutheran, I find Lutheran. So he may not die. He may live forever in some ways.
Yeah.
But Luthen, I find him interesting. But like he's so far removed really from it. And then I find Mothma interesting, but she's kind of removed. So like, I think the fact that it's like I find all of this at like a 6 in terms of my interest, and they're all spread out and surrounded in some cases by 3s.
Okay.
And then nothing is really happening other than they stole some boxes off of a tank. That was meant to happen anyway. So there's like, even that didn't have like the anxiety for me. Really,
Yeah.
I wasn't like on the edge of my seat. So like, it's like I'm making, so you guys know what my preferences are with food, right?
Ketchup.
So like, let's
Lots
say
of ketchup.
Not mixed together.
so let's say I was making, I'm going to try this contraption today.
Okay.
I don't know how it's going to end up, but it's going to have dough, and it's going to have sauce, and it's going to have cheese.
Interesting.
I don't know how it's going to end up, but it seems like all the things that I like are in it. And while I'm cooking it, it's smelling good. You know, it's looking good. And then I have a bite and I'm like, meh, I should have just got a pizza. It's kind of how I feel about it. But I'm going to continue. I'm in. And I don't hate it.
Well, you're watching it. I mean,
Yeah.
you didn't watch Ahsoka till it was done, right?
Yeah, and I still haven't watched the little snorkel face dude. No.
Oh, yeah. Neil. His name's Neil, by the way.
Star Wars names are
What
so
is the name of
interesting.
that show? Get Along Gang, Skeleton Crew. There we go.
Oh God, I did watch that with my family.
Yeah, it was a fun romp.
Weirdly, it's another example of one of those shows where I'm like, if it wasn't the only main fantasy Star Wars thing I'm meant to be paying attention to, I'd probably like it more.
Yeah.
You know, it had its Goonies / Pirates of the Caribbean /
Yeah,
please
and that's what it
stop
was-
me being with these kids for a while.
So that's what it was meant to be.
Yeah.
I watched episode 1 of that, and then I was like, you know what? Maybe there'll come a day where I'm stuck with my in-laws and I need something to watch. That will take about 5 more hours, and I'll finish this up.
it's probably a very pleasant enough Star Wars with the kids on a long rainy Sunday.
See, I think that's the intention, but I think that the creative team at Disney right now, which brings me to the one other talking point of Andor I want to talk about, but grossly underestimate the sophistication of kids. And I think they play to a lowest common denominator oftentimes, where kids, even if they don't understand it, they can understand that they don't understand it. I remember watching Star Wars as a kid and hearing about the Clone Wars, and I had no idea what it was, what it meant, even how it tied into a larger thing. But I was like, whatever that is, I know I don't get it, but I know it's cool.
It's important.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So talking about things maturity wise,
Okay.
how do you feel about rape in Star Wars?
So that's been a big topic of conversation on the internet.
More rape or less rape in Star Wars?
Yeah, there's been a lot of
How do you come out
discourse.
for more rape? Like, how do you come out on the side of more
I thought it was horribly uncomfortable. I was not expecting it, although I figured out real quick what was happening, you know? I think it's just the reality of those situations, you know? You can put your phone on the
I'm
table,
just going
man.
to leave it there. I'm just
That's
going to leave it
also
on the floor because I've
Can
given
leave
up on
the
it
floor.
now.
I mean, I think that just the grittiness of this show, that's the reality of these situations. I mean, half the world was populated by, you know, tyranny coming into places and doing whatever they wanted, including raping women. And
So you're more rape. You want more
no,
rape.
I'm out here pro-rape.
Well, let's
It's been
be
missing from The
clear.
Empire Strikes Back.
It was a sexual assault attempt that ended with someone getting their skull cracked with a fucking pipe wrench. Yeah.
So
And
what year is this?
3 years before it starts
It was a
initially.
long time ago. In a
Yes,
galaxy
it was a long, long
far,
time
far
ago
away.
in a galaxy far, far away. It was 3 years before episode 4 is where the rape scene is.
Can you give me a
but then
number?
there's a time jump.
A number.
I think it's
It's
3 years BBY.
it's 3 BBY. Do you know what that means?
3 years before the battle.
of Yavin.
The battle of Yavin.
I don't know if you're looking for a gag here or if you're just.
No, I'm just.
I know you're not.
It would have been fine if it was 4 years before, but
hang on, we need to get some baseline
vitals.
numbers here. Yeah. Wow, look at us. Have you seen Star Wars, Farrell?
I have seen most of the core, the older stuff.
The original trilogy.
So this happens right before the first 1977 Star Wars movie.
So I have it planned,
to watch them.
and I'm going to watch everything in one sitting.
all right, so there's a specific.
Movies wise.
Yeah, well, possibly.
You can't do the shows in one sitting.
let me know how watching all 3
I'll-
seasons of The Mandalorian goes. in one go.
Seven
6
seasons
seasons or
of-
7
hang
seasons
on.
of Clone
Clone
Wars.
Wars.
Hang on.
I got time, but
There's a couple different ways you can watch these. There's
so we've.
machete order.
Yeah, we've been talking about. I think
Okay.
Bobby and I have.
But I do
talked
think you should still watch episode 1. Just so you can experience episode 1. Because a machete order, you.
No, you watch it.
Okay, well, there is a machete order where you skip
Where you
it.
omit? No.
You omit episode
No.
1.
No, I said 4 or 5, 1, 2, 3 is a flashback. 6, 7, 8, and then if he must, 9.
But if you're gonna watch everything, then you should just do it chronologically in universe. There's so much stuff that happens between movies, all the shows and everything. You should just watch everything chronologically.
Let's just
if you're gonna watch everything.
So I agree with you.
How are you gonna just like spice it in Clone Wars and shit? And
I know, but my issue is like if I were to do that with Laura, she would get the Clone Wars cartoon. And it's too much.
I don't think you watch the Clone Wars.
She would zone out,
cartoon.
and then she wouldn't be interested in the rest of it.
I think you watch, if you do them in order, you watch 1, 2, then you watch the last 2 seasons of Clone Wars.
I mean,
and then
Clone Wars is one of those things.
You can't watch off Clone Wars.
You gotta watch it.
I'm gonna watch the movies.
Okay.
In the machete order.
Well, okay. But
and then go back.
Hang on. There's one thing I would suggest. If you're doing machete order, then you can't. But I was going to suggest Andor season 1, season 2, Rogue One, then episode 4.
Yeah.
Which is
so what
Star
I would.
Wars.
So what I would do, I think if you had the time, that would be a good way to do it. But
you could also go back and do it.
Yeah. If you go back. If you watch the whole saga in the machete order and you like it enough where you're like, I could use a little bit more. Right. Then I would suggest going and watching Andor 1, Andor 2, and then Rogue One, and then reassess. Are we still in? If we're still in, here's Solo. Do you like Solo?
I like
Okay. Are you still in? All right. Here's the next thing. You know.
So I'm looking for hopefully about 55 hours of content.
Oh, you got that.
Yeah, you got it.
There's more than enough in there.
Oh yeah. I mean, listen. There's if you decided you wanted to watch 7 seasons of Clone Wars,
I might get a hotel room and just
fill it with pizza and booze and Star Wars.
Yeah.
Is there 2 beds?
I mean,
we also. Hey, listen. I'm always down for a Star Wars watch party at anybody's house.
I'm down.
I've got the setup.
It's gonna be rough. Because it's long now, so to speak. Like,
I'm not saying we're going to do
the
it
amount
all
of good
at
isn't
once.
increasing at the same rate as bad.
Because I did the first 6 one time. Like, it was actually, God bless his soul, Rio. I thought Rio was going to die that day. So he had worked the night shift the night before, came to my house. We started at 6 a.m. and ended at right around 8. We had lunch and dinner in there as well. Ordered pizza, and then we cooked. I think we grilled for lunch. But we watched all 6 of them in order, and we popped champagne when the people started partying on Coruscant at the end of episode 6. But my buddy Rio was struggling because he had worked the night before, and he had taken so much no-dose that there was about an hour in there where he was pretty sure he was getting ready to have a heart attack. And we were kind of monitoring his situation.
I would like that too. Spice it up a bit.
Make it, for the story. So more rape or less rape, Sam?
Definitely more. I was a bit bored until that point, but that had me on board. I watched that episode again 4 more times just to
verify.
It's funny.
I'm in the star consent camp.
Well, look, I think it's a complicated issue.
The thing for me is, I don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
But we go from no sex at all straight to rape. You know what I mean? Like there's
Well, that's normally how it happens.
Are there some gunshots we can play?
How can we make that the title of the episode?
That could be
But there's never been sex at all in Star Wars.
Yep.
Right. So as far as we know, sex doesn't even exist in this universe. People just fucking bud.
I mean,
Where do
it's
these
been
babies
hinted
come
at.
from?
If I was to walk out there and look at the Jabba's palace layout, I could probably see how Leia's dressed.
Yeah.
And I doubt that was because it was warm.
Right.
No, but it is warm.
But it is
It's
warm.
a desert planet.
Yeah, there's sand.
You could make the argument she was the most comfortable.
It gets everywhere.
But this sort of thing has been hinted at.
Yeah, I mean, Jabba hints at it with
the strippers?
Well, with a line that my father used to laugh at when I was a kid. Like he always used to chuckle, and I never understood it until I grew up. But she says to Jabba, Leia says when he said, "Bring her to me," and she's like pushed up against him, and she says, "I have powerful friends. You're gonna regret this." And he goes, "I'm sure." And then he goes, "In time, you will learn to appreciate me." And then does this.
Yep.
And my father used to always chuckle at that scene, you know, and like I was like, why is that funny? That's not funny. It's gross. His tongue is disgusting, you know. But this, so here's, it's caused quite the controversy. And I think, like, so here's, I'm of two minds. I don't see it from both sides.
Good people.
Because I do have a stance on it. So it doesn't bother me. Like, I didn't watch it and be like, this doesn't belong. This, what are they doing? But I do feel like, this is just my personal opinion, and I don't think that you're wrong for your opinion. I think that your opinion is just as valid.
Wow.
But I think that
You've made it.
Yeah.
Hold on to that one.
I'm gonna hold that close.
I think Star Wars, regardless of what you do with it, TV, movie, whatever, from G-rated to MA-17, whatever the rating is in between, I think that Star Wars should always be something that the whole family can watch.
Okay, I can see that take.
So I think I think they could have done less. My personal preference is that they could have done less to insinuate and heighten how quickly it got turned up. It didn't need to go that far, but I'm not offended. I'm not offended by it.
Right.
I'm not bothered. I'm not losing sleep. I haven't written any CEOs about it. It's just, if you were asked me if I think the Star Wars should be, you know, something that you can watch with your kids, regardless of what it is, my answer is yes.
Okay, I can see that for sure. Yeah. So I did want to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's the most reasonable version of the whether or not it should be there that I've heard.
Bobby Reasonable Face.
It's you know the idea that it doesn't belong in Star Wars. Whenever I've seen that, I remember that Jabba scene where I'm going, it's not been here.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's on screen is.
How long until there's a comment on this episode saying that this is the best discussion about rape?
Star Wars. I don't know, Sam. We got to see if our magic's working here.
Oh, okay. So shifting gears from that.
From what?
So I think this Star Wars series does a great job of portraying a homosexual couple with nobody saying anything fucking about it, because there's two characters.
Thank God.
Well, there's two characters that are in the show that two females that have a relationship.
But let's be honest, Chris, about this.
Well, I mean, that's probably what'll get us canceled more than
It did come as somewhat of a surprise. Like, they kind of like, I feel like
in season 1 initially that they were together.
Yeah. I mean, even like,
had you not picked up on this, Bobby?
Well, I think that even when I was watching it and they just started tongue kissing.
That girl's name is Nissan Sentra, by the way.
Is it really?
No, that's not her. No, her name's Cinta.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow.
Claus? What's
Santa Claus?
What's the character's Val? That's her name.
Seems rather plain compared to Cinta.
Yeah. So Val.
Well, Val
must be the dude.
And here's Bob.
Val Cinta's a badass, and Val is a bottom. She's a rich girl playing rebellion.
Yeah, but I was kind of like, oh yeah, that's right. That's a whole.
Yeah, but I mean, it was.
But I think I'll be honest with you. Even when I see it, when I saw Cassian and his girl making out,
yeah,
it always, like, when it gets too sexual, it just like this seems strange in this universe.
Well, listen,
they don't present it.
Hey, Bobby, listen, I know they're not related, and I know that's what Star Wars is about, kissing your sister. So.
I think cousin.
I don't think that the kiss in Empire is anywhere near as deep.
What about
of a kissing
cousin?
As the two?
Where he's kissing, kissing cousins.
Well, don't worry. I'm sure episode 7 will start with Val and Mon making out properly to bring it back to the classic Star Wars
when they
style.
put it back in the recut episodes. Then they'll recut episode 7 of Star Wars and put them in the background just kissing. They're like, how did they get there?
Well, that's in episode 9 though. So
Well, either way, the 9 can only get better.
Well, I mean, there's a scene at the very end of that.
Yeah,
those two girls kiss. That was, and I didn't really hear too much
about that. No, I think
it got noticed.
It's because people were distracted by how terrible the movie was.
Correct.
Somehow,
I need to get that as a button.
Somehow Palpatine.
Oh, that's a point, actually. If you do your big Star Wars watch, make sure before Episode 9 to go back and play the Fortnite update that gives you the critical setup for how that story makes sense.
How do you like reading novels? Because if you really want to get in the weeds here,
I can let you borrow them, but you got to return them.
Actually, I wasn't going there. I was just going to let you know that...
Do I need to get a library card?
No, it actually...
All right, I give up. I'm just going to stick with Netflix.
Actually, you know what? The lending library is built. I did get that in the contract. I didn't mention it because we don't borrow books much anymore.
And I do like having Chris as our union
rep.
Yes. So hold on. When did we unionize?
Well, when you started bargaining for the collective.
Yeah.
Yes. I thought it was just an LTA we signed, but that's all right.
When anything else aside from Andor going on in your life, Sam?
I mean, I don't know if who will have watched it. I was watching the Devil May Cry show recently.
Oh, me. Oh,
hey.
Yeah, it was great.
What did you think?
I loved it.
Yeah, it was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, it makes me want to play the game, but there aren't any games currently.
May cry?
It's
not definite?
They're not sure.
Have you played?
His feelings are slightly hurt.
I mean, this like a 20-year-old franchise.
Okay, but
but there was one like
but
3 or 4 years
does he cry? May he? Shall he?
Not
Does
yet.
he?
We'll get there.
What
I'm
happens
sure.
when he cries? Is that how he ejaculates?
It's just a big.
How do you do one without the other?
How do you do it?
What if the devil cried?
Why are my eyes so crusty?
He was that
pink
type
eye?
of-
Oh yeah. Maybe. What if that's how you got pink eye from?
From cum in your eye?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I can't see.
Oh man.
Well,
Can't go
I guess
swimming.
the man with the weak ejaculate is the one with the best eyesight in that world.
Hey. In the world of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
Let's going.
One-eyed Billy.
So yeah, if you think of anything else, Sam,
I'll let you know.
feel free to let us know. Christopher.
Oh wow, okay. I watched a bunch of Star Wars shit. That's literally all I did. I will say I did Saturday. I did not do anything. It was probably the first day where I didn't have anything to do. Like I had no work to do, diorama work. I didn't owe anybody any work.
Nice.
I didn't do anything. I got up, watched TV for 2 hours, and then went and took a 4-hour fucking nap. Dude, dude, I don't do that. But you'll get a kick out of this. I took a nap with a hoodie on, and it was the best thing I've ever done in my life.
So
with my cold ass head.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's the sleeping cat for the people that don't want to be from the 30s.
I never thought about it.
With a little tassel.
Yeah, exactly. And mom in her nightgown, and me in my kerchief or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I was going to say I watched Andor yesterday, episode 5, on my couch. I was working on content, and then I had lunch, and I made myself a sandwich and a little bag of Doritos, the baked Doritos, which I actually prefer over the normal. Not Doritos, Cheetos. I prefer the big Cheetos.
I think I do too. They're really good.
Great.
You're talking about the puffs or the
classic,
the crunchy ones.
Yeah, the crunchy ones.
Yeah.
So I had that with a little soda.
Ooh, soda.
And I sat down on my couch and ate my lunch and watched a television program. And I thought to myself, is this how normal people live their lives?
Yeah. I mean, that's strange. Dude, that's what I do every day. I take a lunch break from working downstairs. I come upstairs, get something to eat, and sit on the couch and watch TV.
Yeah.
For an hour. And then
I was like,
strange.
Look how this is. Look at me just
very
being
civilized.
normal face sitting back. I was like, I think I might check the news after this.
I mean, that's literally my life.
30 years older in one day. Sit down with a paper and enjoy my coffee.
Yeah.
Do you have my reading glasses, dear?
Yeah, I might just. I think I should just start taking an aspirin for good reason. Just loosen things up a bit.
Anyways, didn't do shit. It
Good
was
for you,
though.
though.
It was enjoyable. I have that. I don't know what you want to call it. Tick that I always feel like I should be doing something, and if I'm not, I feel guilty about it. But I was able to actually let that go. It's like, fuck it. Nobody needs anything from me today.
Yeah.
Even my fucking laundry's done.
Take a little me time, dude.
Take a little me time. So, So, episode 3 re-released in the theater. Yep. I don't know if it's in the notes. It made $42 million.
Isn't it? I think it was it's the most profitable re-release of a movie.
It's crazy.
That's ever happened.
It did better than Madam Web, just probably period.
Probably. And probably Craven and
combined.
Combined. God, that movie was so bad.
Yeah, I have a Madam Web poster on my bedroom door because my flatmate came back with one.
Do you really?
And just taped it hard up.
Son of a bitch. That's awful.
It is.
Well, hey, what did you get him back with?
What do I get him back with? I've started hiding Craven merchandise in his bedroom.
Nice.
He hasn't found any of it yet.
It's just like the fucking wrenches and fucking bananas in his bitch.
Yeah, I need to put out a post about nothing with adhesives this year. Actually got me into some
people gluing stuff to your house.
Stickers usually.
Yeah.
But it's got me in some hot water. So
I don't even know where I was going with that, but. I have a note that says Andor gay, just so I would remember to talk about
the lesbian bit.
About the.
Let's be honest.
Yep, that's how I was going to say it. By the way, I just need to say this: it's gonna be May.
Yep, it's May.
Today, yeah. It's May 1st today when we're recording,
and it'll be May 4th soon. May the 4th be with you.
It's May already.
I know.
Wow, that's crazy to think about. So episode 3 came out in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I did not get it. So. I was sitting on the couch actually Saturday morning, and Kelly I said, "Hey, Star Wars is in the theater, episode 3. Do you want to go see it?" She says, "We have Star Wars at home." I'm like, "You're right." So I clicked 2 buttons and I watched episode 3 Saturday night. It's
better than McDonald's.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like. You remember that?
Yep,
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, that movie.
It's great.
It's great.
It's got some Rocky lines in it.
It does.
They all do.
It does.
No, but that one in particular, that one to me has the worst line in Star Wars history.
I think episode 2 has the worst line.
Worse than 1.
It's because I am so in love. Ugh. No, it is because I am so in love with you.
Yeah.
No, I love you more. No, I love you more.
Actually, that's worse than the cringy tension between them in episode 2.
Yeah,
when she's like, I'm wearing like this dominatrix lingerie, but
and then you want to
don't
coy.
Talk to me. Boy, man, they're playing them games.
Bitch, if you don't eat this floating apple and get over here.
Hey, you heard about them? them girls from Naboo be playing them games, Bobby.
I'm telling you.
I'm
telling you.
A disruption in communication can only mean one thing:
invasion. But like the thing about episode 3 that I love is like how Ian McDiarmid, you can tell, for 30 years had just been waiting to cut the fuck loose on that character. You know what I mean? Like just treason, balls to the wall, like like
I'll tell you,
that's the most honest acting ever captured on film.
My daughter had come out. My daughter had come out of her room to get a drink, and that was happening. She's like, "What the hell are you watching?" Oh, it's Star Wars.
And I saw this meme that said when he was like, "Henceforth, you shall be known as Darth Vader." And there's like a reply underneath it. It's like, "Did yo just freestyle that?" Hold on, we're getting a phone call.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Live and live in color.
TM Reviews, you're live on Nerd Rage.
Yo!
Don't say anything that you'd regret.
Because we already did.
What's up, nerds?
Yo, what up?
Driving?
Hey, I'm driving. Yep, I'll
okay.
be there soon.
All right.
But I'm not going to make it for the show. So
okay.
that's why I'm calling in. I'm a
you're on the show.
First-time caller.
First-time caller. Well,
so
welcome.
I missed 500. It's 504.
Yep, 504, boys.
So congratulations on 500. That's quite a feat. The average podcast is like 6 months lifespan.
Wow.
Yeah, champions.
I've done some damage.
You guys have gone 6 years.
Yeah.
Great.
10.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. Congratulations. I love the show. I listen all the time. I don't write in and call in. I regretted missing calling in on 500.
Well, hey.
You're here now.
You're here now. So thank you for the kind words.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan. So I just had a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Have you guys seen the preview for the new Marvel movie?
Which one?
Just came out. It's with the guys from Black Widow, the girls and guys from Black Widow.
Oh, Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts.
No, I haven't watched any new trailers.
I feel like that should have been in our
I'm curious if you guys think that's a resurgence of Marvel, or you think they're still dead in the water.
I'm interested to see how it does, because it's kind of got those kind of Suicide Squad vibes to it, right?
I mean, Marvel's trying right now with Doom, not Doom Patrol, whatever the fuck.
Doom Patrol.
I'm interested in Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
They look like that. That's the only thing I'm interested in from them right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got, Sonny?
I also wanted to ask if so over the next. Let's see you hit 600, right?
Uh huh.
You guys you're gonna get there. What are you looking forward to most in the next year with each other? I'll just leave you with that question. You guys can talk about it.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for calling, man. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, take care.
So I think I don't know if I'm looking forward necessarily to anything specific, but I think the show is evolving, maybe more so in the past 6 months than it has in the past 12, into something else, and I'm just curious to see where that lands.
I was who the cast was going to be in 600. It's going to be Bobby and question mark.
I'm just curious to see how far down our rabbit holes we can drag Farrell.
Yeah,
because
that's interesting.
To be pretty much
too. I mean, he's
MO.
got the Expanse checked off.
Got
Star Wars is on the list.
Which let's think about this objectively.
It's time to get him played Magic soon.
It's pretty wild that you watch the Expanse before you watch Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, it's a better show.
So I mean, like,
objectively,
it's not like I've never watched anything Star Wars.
Right.
I know, but not
just all of it. Maybe
but you were all in on Expanse.
So I'm making a circling motion with my hand, not this into Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, so I think Star Wars and I
we have a tumultuous relationship.
no, it's
Most people do have.
it's when I got back into stuff like this, there was too much content.
I understand.
Right.
It's overwhelming.
Right.
So it's like
You just need some guides.
Yeah. A lighthouse.
With some very different opinions on things.
If you want a lot of contents to watch, you can watch One Piece. It's about 1,000 episodes.
No.
Don't worry, you can skip 300 of them.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
But-
that's just all it was. It's like, how do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time, buddy.
Right, but if you don't know
Ass first.
which first bite to take, then
Yeah, it's a hard.
Ass first. Just get it over with.
So, but yeah,
balls.
I love McDiarmid cutting through like and Darth Vader, you freestyle that shit. It was where I was at. But so many of those lines, and like even like the attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed. It's so like you could just tell like he had been waiting all of his life to really have a chance to fucking give you full blown emperor, so to speak.
So you want to hear something?
But when he is full blown, he also goes.
he does.
So weak.
It's like he's the thing he's been waiting for his entire life is happening. So I don't know. That movie's just fan fucking tastic. And then I had it on. I was doing stuff in the basement, but I watched the Obi-Wan series just as background noise.
Oh,
because
I question for that.
Kind of in that pocket, right? It was in between.
Yeah.
So everything I've been watching, and I mean, that show has. It's like they were afraid to do what they knew they needed. It's like, what did Kylo say on the bridge to his dad?
I know what I have to do. I don't know if I'm strong enough to do it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. It's like, yeah, you were so close to making something. I think they made something good. I know Bobby doesn't feel that way about it, but they could have made something great. Like some pretty small changes.
There is a better way of watching it, which is, I don't know if
the movie form or whatever.
Someone edited it down and even made some very slight tweaks to remove some plot holes.
So
it is better. I've watched it both ways.
Oh, where's that available?
And hard to track down now, but I've got it saved.
I'm sure that I could find some yo-ho bottles of rum on the internet. Actually, I can get it.
I've got it saved. I can send it over.
Oh, fancy.
But it is better. It is edited.
I don't know if you can mail those from the UK or not.
No, I think that might be difficult.
Once Trump has gotten rid of every other federal employee, it just come right on through.
That's true. Getting them into the States might actually be surprisingly easy at that point.
It might be. But it scratched the itch I needed for Star Wars because I'll be honest with you. You're speaking of content. I'm like, I just want to watch something Star Wars. What do I want to watch? And I'm like, fuck, I don't know. Like, do I want to? Kids want to watch you serious? Just want to put a movie on. I'll be honest. I tried to start watching Rebels, and I'm like, I got the first 2 or 3 episodes. I'm like,
the first season.
I think I might just skip to like the last 2 seasons of that and watch it.
No, the second season is the one.
Is that the one where it gets kind of dark?
That's the one where Ahsoka and Vader fight.
Okay. So that was pretty early. But.
Yeah, it's the end. It's the finale, I think, of season 2, and that is. And the Rebels has some great, but that part, that's so like it's the same shit, right? Where we talk about like Vader and Obi-Wan fighting in the Obi-Wan show, and they have this moment to have this real, like, insanely meaningful conversation, and they really don't.
Yeah, he just kind of tells them to fuck off.
Yeah, it's like you were bad and you should have been good, and you were good and you should have been bad, and if I had all the power of the Jedi and the power and the Force is one and the power, and these are the Star Wars things that you say in a Star Wars show.
When the dog bites,
yeah.
When the bee stings,
that conversation
when Bobby's feeling sad about Star Wars,
but that conversation that Ahsoka and Vader have, that's the conversation.
Yeah.
Like, that's the conversation those 2 characters needed to have.
Right.
You know, like, it's just masterful.
I still go back to, it missed being canonical by like 6 months.
Plagueis?
No, there's an Obi-Wan novel that came out. I mean, it was literally like...
There's a bunch. Like,
well, that one in particular, 6 months or so before they said, oh, these are the legend stories.
Right.
We're just going to, pick and choose what we want from these, which they're doing, and that's fine. I think it's cool they're doing that at least. But that, to me, it was such a more captivating story.
And they're picking and choosing. The picking and choosing is interesting, though. They keep picking and choosing good ideas done badly. Thrawn made me so angry at the end of Ahsoka. He's like, your strategic genius of... send 6 guys out.
Yeah, dude, they have they've really made a mockery of him. Like, I remember when Rebels, when that was coming out, and I was talking about how Thrawn has just been reduced now in this show to being like, we will attack the planet at 6 p.m. and then like they attack the planet at 6 p.m. and then lose.
Is that
like,
Eastern?
And they're like, Thrawn,
or Coruscant?
Thrawn, we lost the attack. Just as I wanted it.
Yeah, that's the fucking thing with Thrawn. It's the thing that pissed me off so much in Ahsoka.
It's like, well, when do you want to win one?
Yeah.
You'll see.
A character like Thrawn is hard to write.
Yeah.
Because
he's so far ahead of it. He's ahead of
strategic genius.
He's ahead of you.
Not a strategic genius.
Right.
And so the way they always do it when it's bad is they go,
that's what
I'm now going to explain in detail why my very simple plan was actually genius.
Yeah.
Just because you've explained why I should be impressed does not impress me.
So the last thing I have on Star Wars for the moment, at least, is they did something interesting with casting. They recast the character for the first time that I can think of.
In Andor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They recast Organa, Bail Organa, from Jimmy Smits to Benjamin Bratt.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a scheduling conflict, but
it's unfortunate.
Listen, that's a lot of de-aging to do, because that dude is, Jimmy Smits is probably close to 70 now.
Yeah.
And, you're going to make him look 40 years younger. How
AI is just getting better, so it's fine.
Well, it is, but at the same time, I think that proves the point that you could have had Sebastian Stan just fucking play Luke Skywalker instead of doing that digital atrocity. That it was cool to see that, but looking back at it, it's like, why did you do that?
They can, but the beauty of it is they can just redo it because it's already digital.
They can redo
it.
It
doesn't
forever and
age
ever.
so quickly.
These days.
It might be impressive for a moment, but already if you go back to fucking Tarkin in Rogue One, you go,
people had complaints then, to be fair.
But it's like,
that movie's just so well done. It's like,
it's fine.
You could forgive any. I feel like I'll be like, I can look past this.
Cut the scenes out and it wouldn't even matter.
Right.
It's very strange.
Right. I do think that Andor, speaking to that Obi-Wan show so far, season 2 is shaping up for me to be like, man, this probably could be a great 2-hour movie.
I could see. Yeah. Well, hey, maybe somebody will cut it down.
Do the edit.
Yeah. Then.
I mean, one more thing here. What do you think about this release schedule? Dumping 3 episodes.
Don't like it.
Would you rather them either just do it once a week or do it all at once?
Once a week. Because then I wouldn't feel as exhausted.
Do it all at once. Joey could be in on our conversation.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel as exhausted having to watch as much mundane Star
So,
Wars.
like, next week I'm on the road, and I'm like, it's one of those. We just got done with the meeting. I have 15 minutes in my room before we change and go to dinner, and then we'll go to the bar after or whatever. So this kind of social situation. I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to drip these in.
When are you going to sneak 2.5 hours of Star Wars in?
I'll probably try to do like one Tuesday night, and then maybe catch another one the next night. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But tariffs. Mm-hmm. Right. So we launched our Rockbox initiative this Monday. And if you're listening to this when it comes out on Monday, Patreon, you can get your Rockbox. Because we have a 2-week window. We had to do it tight. So our plan was a figure with X-Transbots, Keith Fantasy Company or whatever he calls it. We were to a point where we had sent him, our layout of designs. He had already modeled a custom piece we wanted for this. But, and I was even told that he was willing to, help out with some paperwork. And I'm like, man, I can't do it. It's just like, at the end of the day, I don't want to take people's money and then feel like I'm holding them hostage for more money later. So we canceled it. So we're doing, basically you're going to get, a t-shirt, a couple other little things. And, you're not even Alibaba and stuff like that. I can't get anything from there without the looming threat of that happening.
Have you tried the 40 Thieves?
Yeah, they actually had to close that website. Actually, they moved.
They got deported.
They moved it to the dark web.
Well, they're thieves.
So
they got deported to El Salvador, though.
That sucks.
So it's a real bummer because I think what we were doing was going to be really cool. But it also keeps, we can do it another time.
Yeah. There's always next year.
Maybe. Or maybe people
maybe
would just
3 years.
Maybe people will just be used. Actually, I don't know. This may just be I really think this tariff situation is going to decimate this hobby.
Reduce it by 10.
Is that what decimate means?
We always
1 in 10.
Yeah, we always
you get rid of 9.
We always use it like.
Oh, so decimate, you get rid of 90%,
which is a huge number.
Yeah,
it's actually, I think it means a 10th.
Oh, just get rid of 1 out of 10. That's fine.
Yeah, but it doesn't move. It's one of those things. It's one of those things. I use that word often when
sounds like a rounding error to me.
When I have conversations about like the dictionary, that the dictionary isn't the master of language. It reports how we use language, and sometimes it's behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
So I use that one as like yes, it may technically mean this, but when you say it, I know what you mean, and that's what actually matters in a society.
Well,
right?
Technically.
Oh, here we go.
What does it say?
The definition has changed.
Oh, well, there you go.
Here's intern work over here.
Kill, destroy, or remove a large percentage or part of.
There,
is the
keeping
current.
Up.
Well, the historical. Kill 1 in every 10.
Deci is like the decimals.
It's
1 in 10.
But it's caught up. Yeah, that's good,
Bobby. You just have an old soul.
Yeah,
that's what
an
it
old
is.
Roman soul.
I mean,
I
think maybe it's good for collections to destroy what we have because it's too much.
Oh, that's true.
That might be a hot take from me. But I'm like, there's too much, too soon, too fast. Like it's not special. It's overwhelming. If you mix up, you know what I mean? Like if everything's just available all the time and there's too much of it and you don't even fucking want it anymore, it's not fucking special.
Yeah, no, I
if it's hard to get, if it's rare, that's what makes something special.
Yeah, if everybody has
the
it.
The only problem with that though is when it becomes rare again, like that whole secondhand market of people just flipping stuff instead of the way it is intended.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't depend.
So there's like a fine line.
Well, that's a whole other.
The intention is different, right? There are multiple. As like us as collectors, we all have different intentions as collectors, but as people who produce things, they also have different intentions.
Right.
Like people who mass produce, Black Series or whatever. It's not same as this guy who's like, I'm going to hand cast 100 of these statues, and that's all there's going to be. That's two completely different things.
And there is something about design scarcity.
That too.
Right.
It's really easy to design stuff like superficially. Like I can hop on Blender and design you something right now. You know.
Right.
Yeah, I
And then he can print it up for me.
Yeah, design
and then
a,
I can paint
Bruce
it.
Nickens.
But like design scarcity and like limited run,
Yeah.
like two different things. You can say like this is 1 of 100,
Yeah.
right? And you can't come out later and be like, but 101's here. Like
Yeah.
But you should put in 1.5.
The difference.
No,
is
you. Hey,
V2.
Well,
listen,
that one.
you-
that
you-
one is a 0. That one that I have up there. That has on the bottom is no number out of whatever number because that's special. That's a prototype.
so
I'm just holding it. I'm borrowing it for
Ever.
well, not forever, but I'm sure the time will clock out on it at some point.
When
but
Thrawn wins.
it's when Thrawn wins, I give it back.
So just saying all that to say, I mean, we were talking about this before the show a little bit. Like, companies are holding shipments, right? There's a ton of stuff sitting. I mean, I think
port.
People are abandoning shipments.
I'll tell you, the company I work for, non-critical item is sitting. We're not bringing it over because why would we pay tariffs on something that's going to sit in the warehouse? Right?
But also, you don't even know if you're a week away from it going away and then importing it's fine again. Like,
Right,
it's just a
that's the
terrible
crazy
idea
thing
to bring
about
it
it.
in now.
Yeah. So saying all that to say, I think there will be like at retail. We were upstairs talking about the retail line transformers that you've been looking at and stuff, and I think Sam, you had mentioned that you guys don't seem to have anything because they're shipping everything over here because of the tariffs, like
this is
production-wise.
like a huge amount of stuff, and part of the reason why stuff hasn't gone up yet is because all the companies have been like importing huge amounts to get out ahead of the tariffs because they assume they'll go away quickly. So like we haven't got the latest mainline stuff yet. Our HasLab and
you
Mega
guys
Primes have been
oftentimes
delayed.
and you guys will oftentimes at retail get stuff before we do. It seems
These days we're about on par.
okay.
Sometimes something will be a little early, sometimes here, but like it's for years now. It's been beat for beat, and suddenly like the HasLab is coming to the UK and Europe and the rest of the world. Something like 3 months later,
Okay, so they
so
just
they can get the first batches out
Yeah.
here, and then
well, maybe they'll fix some of those issues then.
yeah, I'm hopeful. Actually, that'd be nice.
Well, is it? I just want the people on the docks that are responsible for assigning the tariffs charges. I want them to be known as tariff sheriffs.
Maybe, but could you imagine? I mean,
they are
think about
required
that.
to wear 10-gallon hats.
Like
all I want.
your job, you're the person in the office at the dock or whatever, and now think about what your life's like now. I mean, it's just so depressing, right? You're just it's brutal. So just on that note, Sam, I wanted to ask you, did you have any concerns about coming over here with the way things currently are?
Genuinely, I did feel a little more anxious getting to the border than normal. Not really, because
You're white. It's fine.
yeah, exactly. I'm a well-spoken white Englishman. I was basically safe, and also I can point to my leave date in like less than a week, which is the really big one.
Do you have
like,
any hand tattoos?
I've been covering them over with makeup.
Oh, good.
Has anyone thought
It's been a bad time to have MS-13 on my knuckles.
Yeah,
but
well, I was going to
or
ask
just
you.
things that start with M and S.
and it was
How
just
are
my
your-
favorite Magic Square toy.
What's
But-
the tattoo for, tough guy? Oh, this for my sweetheart.
And this one's for my
How you
mother.
get a scar-eating pussy?
It's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy, man? Just answer the question, Tony. Okay. No. Okay. Fuck no.
So that's what you gotta do when police start talking to you.
Yeah, so big weekend here. Looking forward to hanging out, and Monday morning I'm on an airplane. So whole week.
What are we gonna
whole
do
week
next
of
week?
meeting.
Today's my last episode for like a month.
Is it really?
I'm working Monday through Wednesday, and then I'm getting on the plane Thursday.
Oh, okay. So
And then
yeah,
he's gonna be on a.
so me, Farrell, and maybe, and then and then I'll put
Or
the-
you could
This
just
is
put
a,
it back.
this is a preview of episode 600.
I'll put up the skull signal.
or we could slap something together this weekend.
Yeah, we might have time over the weekend.
Yeah, just,
you never know.
Grab a
I'm
crew
gonna
and run
be
with
busy
it.
watching shit tonight then.
Oh no, listen.
I'll send you the Obi-Wan edit so that you can get ahead.
If we end up doing that, you will need to have watched it.
Yeah.
We will all be bagged out, and it won't matter. So
Joey, how was your nerd week?
Continuing on elementary, I think I'm on season like 5 now.
Okay.
and this is
the Sherlock
Holmes.
With
show
is this with a Cumberbatch in it?
No, that's not.
Lady Holmes.
That's
right?
that's
No,
a
this is a regular
Okay.
Englishman Holmes with Asian lady Watson
Asian.
and British lady Moriarty.
What,
That's right.
What has the scuttlebutt on the internet been about the recasting? I'm kidding.
I mean, I'm still quite enjoying the show. I think the story is great. I think the overarching story is great, and I think the continuity is great. They introduced like like in universe, you can't use Amazon and like UPS and like Uber and stuff, but they have the in universe of things like that introduced in season 1 and season 5. They're like still with that, and
Dude,
then same
I
with like
love
in world characters,
that
like
shit.
their in world politicians are the same throughout. So like I think this show has better continuity than the MCU, which is
I don't think I've said that.
not hard at this point.
yeah, at this point it's not hard. I
But the
guess.
book's not as big.
Yeah, but it's just surprising when he goes talk to some lawyers. Like I remember that guy from 3 seasons ago. Yeah, that's the lawyer. So I don't know. A canon and continuity matters a lot to me for whatever reason for
Yeah.
universes.
Absolutely.
Like I always
Drives
harp
me
about how
nuts.
like it takes me out of comic books and now out of the movies because like when you can't connect the dots anymore, like I just stop caring. You don't care. I don't care either.
Yep.
That's fair.
How long was it, Bobby, till you felt 100% again after your surgery?
My appendectomy.
Yeah, till where you were like just like you just forgot you had one.
It was a long time ago. It was 18 years ago.
Yeah,
Almost almost to the day.
And it might just be a completely different procedure at this point.
I think they're pretty
Well,
similar.
he had
'cause-
Oh, well, I'm just saying the technology. Like, I'll tell you, I blew
no,
out.
we talked about it.
yeah. They didn't cut
The
you open.
reason I say
Yeah.
that, I blew out an E in 97, and then I blew one out in 2005, and it's a completely different
You
process.
get up off your knees for once.
You got too many cousins in Alabama.
I tell you, man. I stopped when I was.
There are a lot
Well,
of
if it
from my
helps,
understanding.
the first one I blew out in a church league basketball game, and the second one I blew out in a wrestling match. So there was a lot of sweaty dudes around for that second one. So
Not a single, so to speak.
no, that was legit. That's a shoot right there, as we'd say.
Yeah, well, because I was worried that it might be.
Dude, if you put that in the soundboard, I'm done. I'm done.
The other night there was a
I was
soundboard.
I was playing it all. Like anytime anybody said anything that like you could use a so to speak on, I would just drop that real quick.
That's great.
Yeah, we don't recall.
I
Was
don't
it short
remember.
or long?
So like,
So to speak.
so I took I think mine was over a week because I ended up having to take some physical test,
Yes.
and that I think put me back a little bit.
Yes.
But I want to say 2 weeks. Laura, well, we can ask Laura. She usually remembers my bitching a lot more than I do. In my mind, I'm just Stonewall Bob. You know what I mean? But she'll be like, "You're crying like a fucking bitch."
I was ready the next day.
Now, unfortunately / fortunately, no one else can. You can't ask any of us. Is how long did it take to recover from my ball sack getting torn open?
Exactly. That's
How's that going?
It's not completely healed.
Okay.
Why haven't we gotten photos?
I didn't know you just don't want
Actually,
it.
hey, photo
want
challenge.
those
Day by day.
Hey,
Of course you don't.
Here's the photo
Day by
challenge.
day.
Ball sack photo from an international flight in the back. I mean, you have everything at your disposal.
That's
to pull this
definitely
off.
like a OnlyFans type of challenge.
Which club is that?
When are you guys leaving?
Thursday.
I need to see if there's anything I.
Yeah, like send me a list. I'm sure
There's some new,
If-
pile
when I'm
driver
at,
shirts out.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll stop by that place, and also like I'll stop by Tamashi Nations to see whatever exclusives are out currently.
Yeah, I'll see if there's anything I want you to buy me that I can put in a tote and think about doing something with. For the
Yeah,
next
that's what we
10
all
years.
do.
Yeah. Add to the pile. Add to the hope chest.
I'm sure I have things in my to-do pile
I-
since before I met Bobby.
I
That was
think
10 years ago.
I could work. I could not buy anything and make anything. I think I could keep myself busy with projects like for 4 years.
I think indefinitely for
Yeah.
me. But I mean, because I went back to work last Friday. Today's my first day off. I've been working.
How's work been?
Yeah, how's light duty?
It's not like I can't light myself. Like I just have to, but like my body's giving me limits, which I'm not used to, and I don't like it. Like it's gotten better day by day. But like I remember the first day, I just couldn't move the way I want. Like I would go to do what I normally do, and like my body was like, no, you can't do that, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
And as of yesterday, it also doesn't help that the last few days I've been doing doubles because I'm doing doubles and shorthanded because that's why I'm doing doubles, because we're shorthanded. So yesterday I was starting to feel really good. Like the first 6 hours, I'm almost at 100%. It's like, oh, I guess I'm back. And then like I hit a fucking wall. And then 6 hours and my body just kind of shut down. It's like, you're not doing anything anymore. I'm like, I was talking to myself, what do you mean I'm not doing? Like I don't understand what it feels to be tired.
Can they not give you more like the office paperwork stuff to do?
No, and I'm not asking for special treatment. I don't want it. When I had to get a return to work permission from occupational health, I didn't show them my doctor's paper that says I'm supposed to be on light duty. I just told them, I just showed them the part where that doctor said I can go back to work.
What happened to being a compliant patient?
I'm compliant. I take all my pills.
Well, you're not compliant with the light duty part.
There's no way I can do light duty at work.
Yeah, you can.
I would just be a burden on everybody.
There's got to be something that I don't know.
But I mean,
don't hurt yourself, dude.
I'm recovering. Like I said, like day by day is different. I'm just wondering
if you need to take a fucking break, just tell them, hey, I gotta go take a break.
And when they say why, you just show them your nuts.
And just say, because my nuts are hanging out.
Because it's still like gnarly down there.
It's too bad you didn't have to wear like this oversized fucking like bulge.
I would imagine that just from the type of skin and everything, that's like it was going to take a while to
it still looks split open.
You should wear a kilt.
This morning I
can easily show them.
Right? Yeah. No, I just manually pulled out the last of the stitches this morning in the shower. Because I was itchy, and it was like the last piece. It was the knot. We tied the knot, so it's like in there.
So
and I was like, "Fuck it," and just yanked it out in the shower.
Do you see that doctor again before you go?
I felt that shit in my nuts.
Do you see that doctor?
Me too. So did I.
You see the doctor again before you go on the trip?
Like because I would see her during my trip. But so
I do a telehealth visit.
So I'm I'm seeing her like the week after I come back.
I just didn't know if there's any concern with you flying with that.
But no, and I'm still having like inert pains,
or like a pro,
like nothing that like to complain about.
Is it
I just want to get back to normal.
Is that phantom pain?
My missing appendix is like, I used to have an appendix there, now it's gone.
Do you need to go to therapy over your missing appendix?
Maybe that's what it is. A piece of me is missing. This is the first time I'm missing a piece because I'm uncircumcised. So like I've never missed a piece before.
I ain't got no foreskin. I got a 5 skin. How long?
Sounds worse.
Is this the long?
It's extra long.
What's the longest you've gone without working out, other than this occasion?
Oh, I've gone a while. I've gone like a 3-month stretch. When we first moved here, and then we went on trip to Japan, and we came back. We're unpacking stuff. We just took 3 months off.
I once took 3 years off.
And you went back?
Well, I've taken dozens of years off.
But so yeah, I just want to get an idea because like Krista had a hernia repair, which is a similar type of surgery, and she said it was a long time before she felt normal again. I'm like,
yeah.
But yeah, I still have a third nut, so to speak, kind of.
The little sack?
It's not. It's a solid. It's hard.
Oh,
it's a hard nut.
Mass?
It's a hard mass in there. It doesn't hurt, but like I can feel it in the way.
Ejaculate. How would you rate it?
That's gotten better. It's returned to normal. I don't have the dribble at the end anymore.
Nice job when you're
same with piss. I'm not pissing my panties anymore.
Nice.
There's a tab. There's a tab for that.
Yeah, it's on my computer right now.
Nice.
There's probably one on my phone right now.
That's a good. It's a good thing. Not the tab necessarily, but
not pissing my panties. Okay, yeah, it's pretty good.
Why do you call them panties?
Why not?
Because it rolls off the tongue better than underwear.
I think I use the word and think about the word panties a lot, so that's my default.
Oh. I hate that word. It's probably my least favorite word in the English language.
Panties?
Mm-hmm. It stresses me out.
You prefer bloomers?
No, I don't prefer bloomers.
What would you call? You like prefer underwear? That's so long.
Man, we're gonna have this. This is remember this for this weekend, guys. Panties. It's a conversation.
Yeah, I don't
Let's
like it.
talk about panties.
What did you say? Underwear.
Favorite word.
Women's
underwear.
Women's underpants.
So I like to usually call them what they are. So like
a thong,
or a G-string, or boxers, or.
So you have no panties in your life.
Well, I mean, there's no. I don't know what you mean by that question.
Setup.
I mean, my wife isn't.
So your wife only wears thongs or G-strings, is what you're saying?
I mean, there's about a week out of the month she doesn't.
And what does she wear then?
Underwear.
nowhere.
Fair enough. All right.
Another thing I was thinking about is that, like, you know, I get emotional a lot watching like movies and TVs and stuff. So I was thinking back to when I was in dire pain, and I had no desire to cry. And I'm like, what changes that? Because as children, and also as depiction in television, when people are in physical pain, they often cry. And I had no desire. I just remember having no desire to cry whatsoever.
I can't remember ever crying over physical pain. I mean,
Right.
maybe I've
as a
not
kid, I did.
experienced. Yeah.
So
Right.
so that was a point of contention in the house I grew up in, because my father wouldn't let me cry over physical pain.
Same.
And he really didn't acknowledge any emotional pain that I may have had.
So no pain, no crying ever. So this is why Bobby's the Bobby.
So there he is. Let me press pause and get you set up real quick.
Octagon.
So the Octagon is officially in service,
Pull this up a little bit.
but
Pull your computer up a little bit.
you don't only go so much.
Oh no, no.
But anyway, so yeah, my dad was a big like his idea on crying was a pragmatic one. Like, does the crying serve a purpose? So, you know, like I caught a line drive to my eye one day.
Well, that deserves it.
Dude, it was so fucked up. My eye was swollen so big, I was charging kids at school 50 cents to touch it. It's a true story.
I have a similar story, but
I should charge people to touch my nuts.
Yeah, you should. I got 50 cents.
I got quite a bit of money on me.
So,
value yourself. You're worth more than that.
but he was so proud of me because I didn't cry. He was like, you showed real grit. That's what he said. But like, if I like tripped and bust my eye open or whatever and I cried, he would be like, it doesn't help. Like, you're wasting energy. Like, knock it off. Like, I'm going to give you something to cry about type of energy. I remember my grandfather died. And my grandfather was like an intimidating guy. I don't know if I ever talked about him. He was scary.
your
to me.
dad said?
No, my mom's dad.
Okay.
I'll never forget, like, he came up to me one time. I was sitting down in a chair in this apartment, and he came up to me, and he like bent over, and he was looking at me, and he like was like looking at me like tight in my face, you know, and I was like what's up? And he reached in his back, and he pulled this gun out, and he put it in my face, and I was like, what the fuck? And then he pulled the trigger, and like water hit me in my fucking face. And then he tossed a gun on my lap, and we had like this inside the house water gun fight. You know, but he was so intimidating that like when he came up to me, I was like,
I done did it.
I thought it was over.
Yeah.
You know? But like he died, and my dad, I like distinctly remember he was like, this would be an appropriate time to shed a tear.
A tier.
You know,
Wow.
like, you know,
Your dad was super old school, man.
you know, so like,
Probably still is.
yeah. And I think school's gonna be closing before you know it. You know? School's gonna be out for summer. But anyway, so listen, we have more people that have shown up. We have Eric B.
Yep.
in from Detroit. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How
Good
about
to
you?
see you.
Good. Thanks for having me.
And
Thanks for
Scott
having me.
M is here as well.
Hey, yo.
And we're putting the Octagon in service. All the mics are in service. So I am going to give you guys an opportunity, but I want to finish where Joey was at.
Yes, sir.
So where the fuck are you at? Oh,
What's
crying.
crying?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had no like I wasn't holding back tears. I had
Just to fill these guys in, we're talking about
My nuts.
crying over physical pain.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it was
As an adult.
maybe the worst pain I've ever been in, and I had zero desire to cry. But if I watch One Piece, I might just cry.
So I think I was saying
I'm
that
the
to say
same-
I was
same way.
I was
Not One Piece.
institutionalized to not cry over.
Yeah,
physical
maybe I don't even know that was because my dad was the same way. But like, yeah,
So you can emotionally cry with
very
something
easily,
Yeah,
overly
same,
easily.
same.
Yeah,
Like
overly
a
Comes down to
song,
pain, it's like
a
get through
movie,
it, man
a fucking
up,
super
let's get
dog.
done.
Motherfucker! Listen, that fucking I'll tell you, that one was rough too.
fucked up right now.
That one was rough too. But the worst one was my dog Skip.
Oh,
Not all dogs.
No,
No, they don't all go to heaven, bro.
There's one I'd kill right now, so my dog Skip could have a better life.
Bro, Driving Miss Daisy. Into Driving Miss Daisy. I remember that was the first movie I ever cried over.
Dude, I mean, I cry over like episode 4 Star Wars when they walk into the throne room. I cry.
Really?
Yeah, because I think it's all my childhood shit. It's like it just I remember like how that felt to me as a kid, and it's the same as at the celebration of episode 6, like when they were fucking dancing around, fucking little bears, the Ewoks are dancing. Like I'm just like I get emotional about and I couldn't tell you why. Like I'm very like I think in touch with myself, so to speak, that way. But physical pain or anything like that, I'm more of I'm fucking bitch. Like I'm more of a fucking bitch kind of a guy.
Yeah. So, do you ever try to watch something that
to cry? Yeah. Oh yeah. I know.
Sometimes
I let it out.
Sometimes I've got like a greatest hits. That like
is Showgirls on the list?
No. Well, that
no. It's
Versace.
It's the rape. It's the rape episode from Andor.
It's because like
spoiler alert. I don't know if these guys are
sorry.
So sometimes
I would imagine they're all Andored up.
Not yet.
I'll go to one of those because I'll be like, I'm not sure I have emotion.
You have to check it.
Make sure.
It's like, let's make sure I'm a real human. And it's like,
so what's your go-to?
I'm not going to.
That's the secret.
So I'll tell you what mine is Deep Impact. That movie makes me cry like a fucking baby.
I'll tell you what, Saturday night, if I get
Fever.
If I get enough,
the documentary about
if
Saturday
I get
Night
enough
Live.
Modelo in me, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you a few of them.
I'll tell you, there's a movie that, and I'm sure a lot of people at this table have not seen, but no, it's Thursday.
Oh, okay. I lose track.
It's a movie called Facing Giants. And I feel like anything that has to deal with like my childhood traumas or my daddy issues, so to speak, gets me every time. So you guys want to see a movie?
I think that's the same thing that I have with Deep Impact. There's like this scene where the main character and the father are kind of like have an odd relationship with one another. There's clearly love there, but they choose to like just sit and hold each other till the end, no good.
Yeah, I was watching Grandma's Boy the other day, and that scene where he's jacking off and to the Laura Croft doll, and the dude's mom walks in, like,
don't come in here.
Every time, I can't believe you came on my mom.
It's fucking sweet car bed.
Yeah. Hey, we have guests here. Do we need to do an ejaculate check?
Yeah, we will. We will when we get to them. I want to finish up Joey and then
so to speak.
All right, fair enough.
You can take that out of that when it's your turn, by the way. You can unsheath it.
So to speak.
Or not.
Some people, unlike me, don't have to unsheath.
Yeah. What can you imagine?
5 skin.
Last day's part of my recovery, I've been doing walks. So I know. I guess it's voting time for something or other.
Yeah, it appears that there's a mayor, maybe.
Yes,
and others. I see the plethora of signs.
Does the mayor drive the Santa tank? I'm just curious. Is that part of it? Because I'll run for it if that's the case.
By the way,
I don't think so.
Going forward into the past is like the worst slogan I've ever heard. It's so for me. I'm sure it makes sense to other people, but for me, it's like
that is
no,
wild.
just go forward.
Tell me about the good old days.
Yeah.
But I've come up with a series of questions.
Okay.
And I was talking to Chris about it. First is like, who are the signs for? What do the people who put the signs up think they're for? And if they realize what they're actually for, in my mind.
So in my mind, I think the same thing. Because I would never put up, a bumper sticker of anybody. Like I would never do any of that shit. I think that they are people that are trying to promote. Like the goal is to promote a name.
That's what I think is for.
And I think that it works, but I'll tell you why it works.
You think it works?
Let me tell you why. Because people go to the polls and have no idea who these motherfuckers are. Not a clue. But then they have this name recognition thing of, I've seen this around. Let me give a little check.
So you think people go to the polls without knowing anybody just to go to the poll?
100%.
So I can give you
a million percent.
Why?
I can give you guys some
because they feel not entitled. They feel responsible. They feel like they have to vote.
Yep.
So they go to
it's
vote,
your duty,
but they don't feel. They don't.
The responsibility.
Wait a minute.
They
The responsibility is to vote itself, and doesn't matter.
It's kind of like the participation trophy.
Yeah, they don't think that doesn't matter. They
want the fucking sticker.
They wish that they
want to post that they voted.
They wish that they
had content guys
taken the time to look up the person but they didn't. Life got in the way, but they're not going to
tell you
vote.
A little insight on this. I worked for a state representative for 2.5 years, and that's like a cycle and a half of campaign season. I came right in the middle of campaign season, and then as I was going out, it was another campaign season because you run every 2 years. So to speak. So the reason why we put out signs is for name recognition.
Well, no, I don't understand the campaign side of it. I'm thinking about the individual who besides put a line.
Man, they may go to church with that person.
So
their kids may play ball with that person.
Yeah, so it is a connection, but for the people who are putting them in the yard themselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Those people either have a connection or
are educated.
And they're already going to vote for that person, and they're going to put it out. Or here's a third option. We ask them, hey, since you say you're going to vote for this person and you strongly feel this way, do you mind putting this in the yard? So there's another ask on that.
So this completely changes my stance on things because I didn't even think remotely the possible idea that people go to vote just to vote.
Oh, yeah,
that was not in the realm of possibility
So
for
hold
me.
on. So in the presidential election, people may do their research about the president.
You can leave the rest blank.
Not a lot of people know that.
Generally,
What do you mean?
All the way down.
But so that's why the party stuff, and then you get to like orphans court judge.
I fucking hate
right.
Yeah.
And they just go and they look at it and they say incumbent. Like, well, if he was good enough to win at that time, I guess
it has
a vote then.
I don't feel like the orphans have been too terribly awful the last 4 years.
Just haven't heard enough about it.
Speak for yourself, Bob.
You know who I think are doing all right now? The orphans, and probably due to this guy. Keep him in.
Yeah,
he's
rule
doing
in that court.
He's doing a great job.
And to that point, there's always these what do they call them? Things that changing the rules. What do you fucking call that?
Oh, the gerrymandering or the
like there's
amendments
you want to change the taxes on cotton or what?
So the amendments and the
that's it. Nobody. I mean.
Proposals.
I'll be honest. When I go and vote, I always look at the ballot just to see what the fuck I'm getting into.
Yeah, me too.
So those kind of questions, I'm like, well, I want to do some research. Is the tax on cotton going to literally affect or whatever?
And I look
bullshit
it up.
it is.
I look
That's
it
some
up.
Alabama shit.
But
No
that's
joke.
what I expect, though.
Yeah, but even though I'm looking it up, I know I'm still relatively uneducated.
Yeah, but you're not fucking picking
But I'm not
a name
ignorant.
out
I'm
of
not
a hat.
completely ignorant. No.
And also to answer your question, Joey, there's people who will even go as far as to say, I'm tired at this point and just start checking names in these booths. Like,
Yeah, because you've been waiting in line for 2 hours.
Like you said,
you're there to
can
vote
do
for
an
president, maybe one local thing.
Or you can do an
I
incomplete ballot.
feel like that's more irresponsible
it's also
than not
the
voting.
misinformation
In
put
my
out there
opinion.
that
You're not
if you
wrong.
have
I agree.
a incomplete ballot, then it's
for
invalid.
granted.
Right.
You know what I mean? So all of that.
We can't.
I'm just saying we take for granted an incredible amount.
We do.
Yeah, there's a society pressure. There's like a peer pressure thing.
Oh, vote or die by the guy with a baby oil.
With the snake.
which doesn't make them bad people.
No.
But Joey, like, if you look at the general
He is over it.
the general knowledge of civics in this country,
Oh, it's ridiculous.
people
and they're
people
not
have
teaching
no
anything anymore.
idea.
They're not teaching anything.
I don't know.
anymore
Are they
about
not
this shit.
teaching anything, or people not learning? Like,
They don't teach it.
I was in school. I was in school, and I know that I was responsible for my lack of certain types of education
Sure.
because I didn't pay attention. They were in the books, and the guy was telling me what it is, and I was fucking drawing
sure.
X-Men.
Right, but there's some of the things that
I can relate to.
I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
they
how,
just don't teach the same stuff that we learned. And
how
it's-
often do you hear somebody say like, "Oh, well, like gas was higher under this president"?
Which
Like-
the president has nothing to do with gas.
Like,
And also
That's all OPEC.
there's a lag effect of someone saying to doing something,
no, but
and when
even
it takes
before you
place.
get to like global economies and supply and demand and everything like that, they think that the president can just turn down the
Hit a
dial
button.
on the
Yeah,
price.
that's not how that works.
the gas dial.
The only thing they can do is pause the taxes on
tax on
that,
it.
like,
Well,
like
and
Biden
there's
did.
a national reserve that
Yeah,
they
they
can
can
release,
pause
but it's
for
literally
production.
like
But if that shit
3
gets
days
below-
worth of crude oil.
But if it gets
like-
below $60 a barrel, then it's not profitable for them to fucking drill in America anymore.
Speaking of school, I remember one thing I learned, and I don't know why I learned it, but there was like I think probably because there was a little song that went to it, and I found the song to be a catchy little
The
number.
Capitol Hill Bill guy.
No,
Oh.
nothing
That's all time.
nothing.
I like that guy.
Nothing
Even I
remotely.
know that one.
Nothing remotely that important. It was about prepositions. And I don't even remember all of the song, but I
Consumption
remember
junction. What's your function?
throughout, to, toward, under, underneath, aboard, about, above, here, of, all out, over, past tense. These are prepositions.
All right, give him a round of applause, everybody. Give him a round of applause.
I didn't get that one
because
at all.
Bobby's brain only works on music.
That locked in.
Your brain only works on music.
Yeah,
So
I would have been autistic if I was grew up today.
I think
I don't think that's how that works, but okay.
and no one's saying you're not.
No, they just didn't know.
So so when I was talking to Krista, she was like, I think this is to remind people to vote. And I'm like, that would make more sense because I didn't know it was time to vote. Like if people had signs up on the lawn like, hey, remember to vote for this vote for this position in this state. I'm like, that would make sense because in my opinion, before I knew that people just did this shit, whatever that is, that if you're going to vote, you would already know who you're going to vote for, and no one's going to change your mind, right? So seeing someone else's name is not going to change your mind. So like, what you're really doing is just like signaling to other people who you like.
Yeah, well, so there's a bit of that too. There's a bit of that too.
That's where I think it is subconsciously that these people like. Do you really think people are just going to look at your sign and then be like, yeah, this lawn says vote for this guy?
And the thing about the signaling is that the people that are doing it think that they're sending one particular message, but the truth is that they're sending all of the message to all of the people from all of the different camps. So you think that you're making like, this will let people know that I'm a good person and I believe in these good things.
Virtue
and people that believe in that agree, and the people that don't now think you're a bad person and believe in bad things.
So I think lawn signs are dumb.
Yeah, I do.
But I don't think signs that remind people to vote is dumb. I think that would be a good idea. But
they can be dumb. So think about how many times you've gone to vote at the actual polling station.
Zero.
And there's littered with
and it's littered.
Right? By then, you already do know at some point. But that, I mean, it's for some people
trying to hand you stuff and talk to you.
I just forget that people don't
at the last second.
My argument's completely gone because I thought people who went to vote cared about who or what they.
There is a swath of people that still do. So
it's not all or nothing.
Yeah, but for those people, those signs and
they're the people going to the city council meetings.
It can still remind you
about how Facebook stole their identity. Yeah. I want to ask Sam. This probably does this sound batshit crazy? How does like local?
I don't know if we should get too far into that at this point. We're an hour and a half in, and we got 3 other motherfuckers plus, and then questions and news.
Remember we didn't have. Remember we didn't have much, right?
I'll keep it really short. This is fascinating to me because, well, firstly, we don't do lawn signs. Really, that's just not a thing.
Good idea.
Partly because you're most likely to have a backyard,
a garden.
Yeah. But no, we have far fewer elections. Sorry, we have similar number of elections, but we don't bundle all of them together.
Okay.
So, like, when we're voting for prime minister and stuff, well, you don't even like that's its own. Yeah. Go and vote for that, and then there'll be other ones, and so
so we do them every 2 years. There's an election.
Who are interested or care about the local council will vote for the council. They're not just presented with it when they go to vote for like major parties and local MPs.
Gotcha.
So
I kind of dig that.
Yeah, it seems sensible, especially given that I also had never heard the idea that you might just vote because you're in the booth.
Yeah, that's fucking insane to me.
That feels like, if nothing else, avoiding that seems like a good idea.
Yeah, so like that's my personal opinion too. Is that it's better for people not to vote than to vote uneducated.
Yeah. Well, I will say the midterm elections in this country, like if you look at the amount of people who vote in midterms versus presidential elections,
it's not
like less than half, right?
Yeah.
It's tiny amount.
But there's society stress and pressure of like if you don't vote, then you're a piece of shit.
But you can just lie and be like, "Yeah, I voted."
Yeah, hey, Joey, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, I love it.
But I will tell you though, your midterm elections and your local like city council elections mean more to you personally.
Yeah, because they have a direct impact. Okay, I have one last thing about this, and I'll move on. It should not be implemented because it will be implemented very poorly, just like anything else. But I've always thought, even as a young person, that you should have to pass a test to vote. But I know this will completely shit on disenfranchised people, which is not a good idea. But like, you should be able to present that you know what you're doing.
That's
why?
That's a
I know. That's why I say it shouldn't. I think it's a bad idea.
Joey's trying to cause a riot.
I think it's a bad idea in practice.
The problem is the moment that you implement it, there'll be people that say, well, now you're being unfair.
Right. I think it's a good idea on paper, bad idea in practice. But like, if you can't you can't show that you know what you're doing, then you shouldn't have a say because you don't know what you're saying.
You know what would be better is if you voted on stances, and the stances were connected to the politician.
I'd agree, and I also believe that you should eliminate partisanship for the president role. It shouldn't be a partisan.
I think we'll do
position.
that in America, basically.
Well, the way
in the EU too.
An interesting.
They only have 2 parties over there.
They have 3, but 2 big ones.
Well, an interesting comparison with the president thing is, for example, in the UK, we don't vote for our prime minister. You're only voting for your local MP, and the prime minister is just the leader of the party that has the most local seats. So they do end up having a huge impact, but your local election can actually just be entirely won by having a good local MP that a lot of people give a shit about.
It means they care more.
Yeah.
I mean, I just thought if you don't know like how electoral college or like just basic things, if you don't know how the basic things about voting works, you shouldn't be voting because you don't know what you're doing, and your voice is only muttering things.
But then,
up.
what would women do?
Fair, that was your line.
Sorry,
we them 504 boys.
To be fair, they're new at this. They only started doing this recently.
I'm just kidding, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm just
let's
kidding.
End their suffrage.
I'm just kidding.
Not their suffering, their suffrage.
Oh, did I say it that way?
They've suffered enough.
So there may be
Well,
a
if you
bit,
don't know what that means, you shouldn't be able to vote.
I'm just kidding. By the way,
That's
there
one of
may
my
be a
favorites.
bill.
I just wanted to say something shocking enough to move forward. Farrell, how was your nerd week?
I always feel so unprepared for this. So Saturday, we had at my job, had an awards ceremony.
Nice.
So that was fun.
Did you win any?
No.
Do they do karaoke?
No karaoke.
Not even one for losing your email. They should have gave you something for that.
Yeah. Well, I think it just caused more headaches throughout on that. So I decided to skip eating at an open bar event.
Oh boy.
Just to get the most bang for your buck, or just circumstantially?
I think just
Circumcisionally.
We'll
Okay.
take that.
So yeah, we got to like 17 Modelo's before they ran out. And then I switched over to High Noons, and then
You saw High Noon.
Then it got touch and go.
and then I woke up the next day.
Right.
There it is.
Happens.
Yeah, so that kind of completely ruined my Sunday. So I just kind of laid in bed and then went to the casino.
Now, did you make a donation, or did you actually get
which
some money out?
casino do you go to in Baltimore?
Live.
The one at the mall.
Yeah.
Nice. Is that the least stabby of the two big ones? I've never been to Horseshoe. I've been to Live.
Interestingly enough,
a really good restaurant.
Horseshoe is not that dangerous on the property.
I just see some of the music. I just see some of the music artists they bring in there. I'm like,
Yeah, no,
this looks like a dangerous place.
So I have been to Horseshoe,
When Lil Bootsy's coming to Horseshoe, I'm like, oh, that's going to bring an interesting crowd.
and I went with Bigums, Bobby.
Bigums.
I saw that dude shoot at a cat once.
So
So
There was,
there, so to speak, there's a shoot. That's a legit. That's a shoot. No kayfabe on that. Boom.
So the one time with Bigums, it was very late, and there was a tussle
Bigums.
with some other. He's a pretty big
He's a big boy.
I've been called some strange things before, but Bigums isn't one of them.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. Pulls his nuts out a lot too.
Yikes.
Joey,
Yeah,
compatriots.
he's about 10 Joeys.
I bet his nuts aren't as big as Joey's were, though.
Oh, bigger probably. Anyway, so like a tussle breaks out between other patrons, and somebody's weave came off,
Happens.
and
And any good
Is
tussle?
it just a wig or is it an actual weave?
Like so,
There's
sewn in.
that's two different things.
Man, stop. In the hood is still
Was
weak.
it sewn in or was it?
so there was a lot of hair pulling, so it could have been sewn in. And he puts his foot on it, and then like kind of drags it under the table that we were sitting at, the blackjack table, and he goes, "I try to collect these tumbleweaves."
Tumbleweaves. Oh my god, that's good.
Well played.
So the bigger problem with Horseshoe Baltimore is that they had to put an FBI field office in the building.
Yikes.
You fucking serious?
Because
That's the most Baltimore shit I've ever heard.
let me tell you what they were doing.
Shit.
So when you win a big jackpot,
Yeah.
right, they come and bring you the money, right?
Right,
And that's not really a big jackpot. That is a
It's over
small,
5K or something, right?
1,200.
Okay.
Right.
That's the number, $1,200.
That's the
5K
tax.
back
That's the
home.
taxable.
Oh, okay.
Where they have to hand pay you, so they give you the tax documents and everything. So that happens at different spots on the casino floor. When you win a big jackpot, like over 10,000, that happens in the back room.
Okay.
Where they double count the money. There's all this stuff involved. Somebody in that room was taking a picture of their driver's license and everything like that and sending it to somebody else. Mm-hmm. So you get your money, you get your security, you walk to your car, you start leaving, everything's good. You get home,
They waiting on you.
they're waiting on you.
Yikes.
So like 4 or 5 people won sizable amounts of money
And got
they
jacked.
got jacked at their house. So
Jesus
the FBI came in
Christ.
and figured all that out. So
Man, it seems like Barenthal needs to make another fucking movie series about this one.
so that's the scarier part about Horseshoe Baltimore to me. But yeah,
Note
so I
yourself.
went and lost a little bit of money.
No, you made a
Sunday.
donation. You just
Yeah.
made a donation.
Won it back this morning.
All right, there you go.
Congrats.
Yeah, so
And he was here at 10 a.m.
I was here at 10:05. I do really enjoy getting to the casino at 7 a.m.
It's a different crowd there.
There's nobody.
Oh, the's nobody.
Pick of the litter.
No, there's
I thought there was people from the night before.
There might
It's
be.
almost like they're living regular lives.
Well, so as somebody who is generally antisocial with people that are strangers to me, so it's like noise canceling, earphones in. Like I don't even want to talk to the security guard. Like when they say good morning, I'm like, ugh. Right. So for me, it's perfect. There might be 50 customers in the building.
Yeah,
Right,
old
so-
Asian ladies, right?
No, they're all
Really?
different types. But for me, it's like whatever I want to do. There's no line. There's no whatever. I don't have to sit next to somebody that smells the button slapper. All the annoying things that happen is not.
They still let
there.
you smoke in this one? Okay. Yeah, they barred it back home too.
Yeah. So well, there is a smoking section, but it's like technically outside. It's weird.
But you can't smoke at the
Like,
machines anymore.
Yeah.
At that section, you can.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, they do have a section of it.
Yeah. So I just avoid that one.
Yeah.
And I get yelled at for vaping in there. So The Last of Us, where are we at?
I got to it.
I
You
have,
sons
I've
of
watched,
bitches.
I meant
hey,
to start last night.
Hang on.
I know.
You haven't watched any of it?
Not a bit.
Okay, so I watched the first two.
Yeah. I'm
And I knew what was going to happen, but my wife knew it too. But like you were talking about
I
getting invested in characters and stuff, like she cried, like she was fucked up from that. Like she got Negan vibes from it, right?
Yeah.
So I asked her yesterday morning. I was like, "Do you want to continue to watch this?"
Oh, it's all uphill from here.
Oh, yeah, right. That's how all zombie shows end up.
No, I mean, if you played the game.
Well, I
refuse to play the second game.
I didn't play the game, but I did know that somebody spoiled that a long time ago. That was happening.
Yeah.
Do you know what we're talking about, Bobby?
No.
Okay. Well,
I don't wanna-
I am going to watch it by next week.
I'm not going to. But
Well, yeah. What else are we going to talk
she
about?
doesn't. Yeah. You guys can deep dive it,
Deep
right?
dive time.
So my wife doesn't like. She watches a ton of anime, like a ton of anime. That I don't watch with her because it's not my thing, and it's fine. She doesn't watch most of the shit I watch, but we do watch some stuff together. But she's like, this is why I don't like watching shows with real people, and because I get so invested on these characters that when something happened, I'm trying to think of another show or something else we watched. I think it was a show about Vikings, but it wasn't. It's called Vikings. To remember the name of it, I think it was on Netflix. I don't remember. Anyways. One of the two of the main characters got killed, and she's like, I don't want to watch it anymore because that's who I was interested in the show.
Yeah.
So the big thing about this is I feel like since Game of Thrones, right? Because that was to me the first really big popular show that didn't have a problem killing
Main characters. Yep.
Yeah.
And now I feel like the studios are looking for that because it created such a buzz.
Well, I mean, so they reshot Daredevil to add that to the beginning of Daredevil.
So it's
to give you that.
And I'm not against it. I am against that it's the same fucking thing again.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure they did that in the video game for the same.
Well, so like, and I know that it's based on the video game, and they're doing a great job of staying as close to it as possible.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care about that because I haven't seen I know what the games are. I have played some of the first one. I don't know the story beats.
But for the same reason that Joey, appreciates continuity. If we stray too far from the video game,
then make it something else. Don't name it after the game.
Right.
So but they chose to do this game into a series, and I think one of the reasons might have been that, hey, here's a main character that we get to kill off, and we get a payoff like the Red Wedding, like the
from the same studio,
like the Walking Dead, like the this, like the that.
If this continues to be successful, they're going to outrun the game, and they'll have to come up with.
Yeah, that's the part I'm fascinated about.
Yeah, this season they've already said this is the final season.
Okay, well,
this is it.
let me say this: they will play around in this universe for a long time.
yeah.
I mean,
that's
something else I was thinking. Like, you could have said, instead of telling this story about Ellie and Pedro, you could have said, told the story even told the same story, but from a different perspective, like from his brother's perspective.
Yeah.
Like, you could have told that whole story, and you're still going to get, because everybody's going through these awful fucking things, right?
So I
It's
imagine
just
they
their
will,
perspective.
because in the second game they do something similar to that as well. In the first game they did it, and it was split into two games. You had DLC where, remember, she was stuck in the mall in the first season?
Yep.
That actually is DLC from the first game.
Okay.
It gave you way.
Oh, right. I do remember people saying that.
DLC.
Yeah, they told you. They even told you, like, don't play this game if you haven't beat the main story yet, because that is such an integral piece.
Yeah.
and it will spoil it.
So I mean, I agree that we could have done a different perspective, but then plenty of other things. The Walking Dead had that spinoff.
Which one?
What's the one where
Did the California kind of perspective of it? Is that what you're talking about? What, Fear of the Walking Dead?
Fear of the Walking Dead.
I think I watched the first
2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, I didn't watch much of it.
So
and then that crossed over at some point, with
and that failed pretty hard. So I don't know how much they're willing to go off into that other perspective kind of world.
Well, maybe they'll just make a video game about the third. They'll make a new season, and then they'll make a video game of it.
So there is a Last of Us 3 in the works. So there's a chance you would get a.
Well, maybe that's
but I mean,
what it'll be.
that's going to be a
long
fucking while.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you
unless they're working on it with the show people now. I mean, that is possible.
Well, I mean, the lead writer of the games is involved heavily in the show.
Very heavily.
It's part of why it's.
Who is it?
Oh no,
Neil Druckmann is a fucking.
Oh, okay.
And he ruined the franchise for me. I didn't like I didn't refuse to play the second game.
Oh,
all the
really?
things that I loved about the first one, everybody who kept him in check, everybody else who was in,
They were
all
not
left.
there.
They left him in charge.
I was like George Lucas.
Well,
Except not
I
good.
love the second.
Well, I
yeah,
guess-
but I mean, people would argue that.
Yeah,
you
people
know?
argue.
It's really good.
I remember there being a lot of scuttlebutt. I guess the spoiler got out really quick on
what
what's
was gonna happen.
What's
I
going to
enjoyed
happen.
the second game as well. I didn't think it was as good as the first one. I do think Druckmann is the guy who needs some people around to
But
tell it.
he's too fucking egotistical now.
But
he's not
should
going to
be
let
involved.
anybody.
Yeah, but I mean,
But he was not. The people mistake that he's not the main guy who made the first game. He was a side guy.
He was,
and he took
but
the credit.
That's what I mean by involved.
So
I'm not
like, I
saying
don't
he should
care
be
if
the
he's
main
involved because he
guy.
wasn't what made the fucking first game good. I don't know. I'm getting too passionate about this.
I mean, it's good that he's involved and not the.
Because I really cared about the first game, and like,
The first game was great. It was
and I
great.
can
like,
also-
and I'm not sure how good the third game is going to be because like the whole fucking studio is a fucking mess now because
It
of the
is.
guy.
Well, kind of famously as well, the story of the sequel was actually his original pitch.
Yes, that got shot the fuck
That
down.
got shot down.
So after everyone left, he's like, I'm going to make my game that I wanted to make.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
The hard part for me.
I don't know if I hate him more or Jared Leto at this point.
I mean,
At least this one's based on something.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That is why I'm so interested in this second season, because I loved the first game and I loved the first season of the show.
Yeah.
But I did feel the show told the story better. So I'm really interested to see how this creative team, with Druckmann not in full control, like how they
some
tell
checks
the story.
and
But
balances.
they're still basing it off the game.
They were able to flesh it out a lot, for sure.
So I'm hoping it's at least the same story told better.
Yeah, well, so I mean,
Listen, man, I'm tired.
It might be the thing that I have a problem with the second season already.
Because
and this might be a little bit more.
Yeah, you might want to.
No. I'm saying that you'll see. So the first one is about Joel saving Ellie, and the second one's about Ellie, doing what she's going to do.
Right. So I'm assuming the story is her trying to catch up with the people who did the bad things.
Already, I'm going, what is this little girl going to do?
Well, I'll tell you,
world full of big bad fucking
I'm going to
people
tell
and
you,
creatures.
if you see, you were an Xbox guy from what I understand, right? If you've never played that game, find a way to get it on PC or something and port it to your Xbox.
Pretty easy to emulate now.
The game is, I know Joey doesn't like it, but what she does in this game and the perspective they're getting ready to take you on is incredible. I enjoy it.
I mean, I'll reserve final judgment until after I consume.
I'm looking forward to it. I finished 2 shows this week.
I was going to watch the third one this week before to talk about, but it just didn't happen.
So the other big thing is they talk about their town, Jackson.
Yes,
and they've got this like elaborate defense mechanism.
It worked really good.
Yeah,
and then. There's other parts where they're talking about like, oh yeah, like the leader of the patrols, like obviously served in the military and has some experience and everything. Oh, we get into a pretty big fucking crossfire situation like immediately. So I don't know what that guy was doing in the armed forces.
Not training him.
Like, crazy
latrines.
Well, I mean, but to be fair,
I'm not even sure that they could.
I'll talk to you about it on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it also.
But other than that,
for you on Eric and his opinions.
Other than that, I don't think I have too much more. I mean, it's been a lot of basketball, a lot of gambling. I hit for 1,200 on Monday on basketball, so that was fun. But yeah, so
nice. Well, let me see. Eric, you arrived first between the two, so how has your nerd week been recently? My
nerd quarters
year.
It's been good, man. I can't really complain. Work has been nuts, but getting ready to travel again. I'm traveling here now, which is great. It's good to see you guys. But then I'll be traveling next weekend to go to Orlando. My daughters are in the national chess tournament.
Yeah, your daughter's a big chess player.
Yeah. Both of them. They're pretty darn good. So
nice. That's so awesome, but it just seems so like bizarre in this day and age that these kids would be into playing chess.
Do they play on the clock?
Yes.
I love that. I love the slap.
Kids. They're
that's
really
awesome, man.
You ever seen Fresh? Fresh?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Fresh is great.
Yeah, great movie, man.
It's like this kid. He's in the projects in New York, and he's a chess player. He plays out in the park, and there's like people, like other chess players that believe in him, that want him to be something, but he's got like this whole street environment that's going on simultaneously, and like what ends up happening in the street like mimics a chess game on the board, and like he's the knight, and it's like it's an interesting story.
Sounds cool.
Up 3 over 1.
Yep.
So I mean,
he jumps around.
He does. It was a good. That's a great movie. But so that's been cool. I saw Daredevil, all of Daredevil. Loved it.
Fantastic.
Enjoyed it. 9.5 for me out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I keep putting it off because
buddy, I'm right there with
really
him.
liked the old ones and
No,
don't
it's
believe
really
in
good.
Marvel's shows at this point.
And
Well, this is something special.
Oh,
it
it's
is.
sick.
It is. It's
It's
definitely
a-
worth
Top of the
watching.
list from now on then.
It's a 7.5 to 8 for me,
which is high for you.
That would
which is
still be
high.
worth
Which is a
watching.
real world 9.
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
definitely
body's on the curve with me now.
it's definitely the best.
So to speak.
Yeah, that was wild. It's
Hey, Ronies.
it's definitely the best Disney Marvel show I've seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
In that case, I will get over myself and
Yeah.
give it a watch because I
And
wanted
And
to
there's no rape.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on.
Come
on.
Doesn't quite go as hard as Star Wars these days.
We already had the Andor rape conversation before
Yeah.
y'all got here, so
I've heard.
but should
I
we
haven't
ask
watched
him
it yet.
less or more?
Well, he hasn't seen it.
Oh, have you,
I have.
Scott?
do you want more or less rape in your Star Wars?
I'm fine with this amount of rape.
perfect. We have the perfect amount of rape.
Now, to be fair,
Yeah. But
I'm not sure that's a better answer. I thought who was going to come out on the side of more rape, and I'm not sure that I even considered the idea that this amount is perfect.
My next response, though, my flavor of that is that I believe that this is the direction that Star Wars needs to go to satisfy the older generation.
Give this man some bullets.
To be fair, there was a lot of rape in movies back in the day.
But
a lot in the 80s.
They can make the Skeleton Crew stuff, and that can
But you want
still
something more
appeal
mature.
to the kids that need a next generation
So
stuff.
this is kind of a rewash.
Give him your real quick.
Real quick, because we have done this, but just real quick, like, it doesn't offend me. I'm not bothered by it. I didn't lose any sleep over. I didn't write any CEOs. I didn't send any tweets. I just lived my normal life after watching and consuming the content. Simultaneously, I think that Star Wars, no matter what it is, should always be something you can watch with your family.
Yep, I'm with you there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like the humanity. Like, you know, I was just like,
at the same time, like, how many things did we watch as kids that probably were just that graphic, but it didn't register to us that's what it was. It was just bad man's trying to hurt this lady, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not disagreeing with you, Bob.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Like Dirty Dancing, for example.
Oh, so
did anybody really? I mean,
until she yelled, he tried to rape me. You could have taken that in a few different ways.
Because she said it. So
especially as a kid,
I didn't understand what the abortion thing was in Dirty Dancing.
That too.
My parents wouldn't let me watch that movie when I was a kid, and I thought it was because the dancing was so fucking dirty. Like that's just like.
No,
I finally saw
statutory rape.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and I finally saw it. I'm
abortion.
like, oh, rusty knife and a folding table.
Yeah.
Wow, where'd you get the folding table from?
Didn't have Amazon back then.
I know, right? You just carried around his trunk.
Anyhow, how else aside from chess?
Yeah, so Daredevil's been good. I caught up on that, loved that. I can't even remember really what I've been watching as of late, but got a few things in. The pod is going good. We're getting some really good numbers.
Yeah, you guys are doing good.
Thanks, man.
I'm enjoying what you're doing. I don't get to watch every week, but I try to pop in and check it out.
Yeah, it's partly because of these guys, man. Like all I do is just keep the ball rolling. That's it.
You guys are rolling with it for sure.
These guys are doing an amazing job. I'm just happy to be there.
Somebody just bought a Leadership 101 book.
Hey, I did want to give, and I know I mentioned it when it happened, but I want to give my man here another big shout out. The king of Volkswagen over here.
No doubt, man.
He helped me with a dilemma. And honestly, dude, if you hadn't done that 3-way call with that customer service lady, I doubt I would have ever gotten anywhere with that. That's like, I mean, it's one of those things that's complicated, not by anybody's choosing, but it just ends up being complicated. So thank you.
No problem.
By the way, I meant to mention this also during my nerd week. I'm really proud of Mason, my oldest. He did a brake and rotor job on his Jetta bike.
Oh,
That's
go.
awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, my failure as a father, I just, my dad taught me how to work on cars because you had to back then. But like now, it's like,
this new technology.
That wire is broken. Let's hot glue it together. I mean, we did that so much, but the fact that he did that and I'm impressed.
That's amazing, man.
Also, the amount of fucking special tools we had to buy. That you Volkswagen. A 10-point socket. I have a 10-point socket set now, Bobby. Next time you need a 45, I probably have the Holtwell. Damn it,
my dad tried to teach me those things, but he would get so frustrated with me in about 10 minutes that he would just be like, just go inside.
Honestly, he did a really good job. There was a couple, he got stuck on a couple things, like using the caliper tool's always a fucking
that caliper tool, especially for the rears, are no joke.
Yeah, so I told him like the first wheel probably took 2 or 3 hours because he didn't know what he was doing. Yeah, but the second wheel he probably did it in like 45 minutes.
Once you know, that's it.
So I said, man, you can charge your friends $50 a wheel to do brake pads. Rotors are $200 though.
So pod's doing well.
Yeah,
definitely. The pod's doing good. Family's doing good, man.
Well, in the pod, do you even transform, bro?
Yes, sir. Do you even transform, bro? Every other Tuesday on the Rema Collectors channel.
Make sure we get that out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's doing pretty good, man. And I just been chilling, just staying focused, gym stuff, trying to stay in shape.
You're looking like you're gonna rip some phone books.
I appreciate it, man. Trying to get healthy.
A jiu-jitsu fight in the yard this week?
Nah. I heard that was strictly prohibited.
I didn't bring. No.
There's a couple actions over the years that we've. It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve.
I seen that list and I was like,
don't bring your gi, guys.
Who the fuck let Chuck in or whatever? That Chuck one time was kind of perusing, taking a tour pretty far out of his mind one year. You know, this is a learning curve of events. So
things happen, man.
Scott, what about you, buddy?
All right. Well, I got some notes because been here.
You think you were gonna?
Well, in December,
So
Christmas was great.
Yeah.
Wyatt and I flew up from Texas yesterday.
By the way, you guys need to tell Bobby like HNY real quick because you know he loves Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah, Happy New Year.
Oh, that's right. Happy New Year. I haven't seen you in a while.
Continue.
I've seen you since then.
That is true.
All right. And so anyway, so my wife and I are sitting outside because I got here a little bit early.
Wife.
And she's looking at the cameras at the house, right?
Looking at the cameras?
At the cameras in the house.
You see, Bobby, this technology exists.
In my house?
No, in our house.
No.
In your house?
Yeah, in Texas.
Oh, looking at the... I got you. You have cameras set up in your house, and you're accessing those cameras from
Correct.
my... Okay, got
She's accessing them from her phone.
Bobby just lost his mind because he thought you had hacked into the cameras he didn't know he had in his house.
No.
That's what Bobby thought.
No, because all these houses around here have cameras all over the place on them, and I thought that's what they were...
You weren't here the day they installed them?
No. Like, I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
I know what exactly. I'm fucking with you.
No, but like, I don't think that, like, because sometimes I sit outside and I'm like, what
Why
the fuck are these people so afraid of?
Why do they have so many cameras?
Like,
it's a just in case.
Like, just in case. What the fucking
Bobby,
Germans?
You got to remember, dude.
Someone just
you
rolls
came
up and
from a
take the
different
packages
area.
off your lawn.
Well, that's true too. But
He would just file an Amazon claim is cheaper than the
or
subscription
somebody's-
service you're paying to this fucking camera service.
Or maybe somebody's
Where the biggest problem is somebody knocking on your door and running. All right, where the fuck?
cameras.
All right. So anyway, we got these cameras around the house,
Mm-hmm.
and we're sitting outside in the car, and she's like, "There's somebody in our house. There's somebody in our house," and I'm like, "What?" Because I mean, you know, like most of you guys, like we got some stuff in our house. I don't want to lose, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, that's just you. That's from yesterday."
oh my god, oh my god.
I'm like, man, there is a time and date on that thing, and you just made me lose 2 years of my life.
You all the way here, nobody's back
I know,
there.
right?
Scott's already got units en route.
Anyway, all caught up on Andor.
Okay.
Great show.
Yes.
Great show. I understand your take, but anyway, we won't dwell. All I can say is that while we know the ending of where this eventually goes, there's enough, like they're doing a good job about telling a great story, and I can't figure out where they're taking some of these characters.
Yeah,
And
I
I
agree.
love that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I can usually like nail a show like 3 or 4 episodes in.
Cassian's gonna die.
Not anytime soon, though.
Watch The Accountant 2.
Fuck. Oh yeah.
Watch The Accountant 2. Better than the first one.
Really?
I really liked the first.
Not a
too.
fan.
Better than the first one.
What's wrong?
And
You
the
got to find
dynamic
watches?
with
Just more
with
things with
Affleck
that?
and
Hang on. Settle.
what's his name? Bernthal.
Yeah.
Excellent. Like it's just a really great brother flick. And
Is it better than Step Brothers?
No, fuck no. Not in a million years.
Did we just become best friends?
Dude,
Yep.
what a movie.
Yeah. So and then Pod's going great. Enjoy my time with these guys, and so yeah, that's my
Dang, when he said he had notes, I was like, all right.
No, well, I want
I'll
to
be
keep
here
it
for a
short
while.
because there's other stuff that you know.
Yeah, I don't have much either. I've already talked about Andor, and
Wow.
Listen,
Dang,
You all caught up?
yeah, we'll talk more. Dude,
dude, I don't think it's bad. I just think it's boring.
Ah.
and I understand his take. I don't agree, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
So all right. So I finished The Pit. It's great.
Okay.
It's probably going to be the best show I see all year. I have a feeling.
The Pit was so great that somebody was so excited about it in Pittsburgh that they fell out of the
off
stands
the wall,
into the
dude.
field during a baseball game last night.
Really?
Yeah, they got carted off the field and then rushed in an ambulance.
Let me tell you what my concern is about The Pit. It's successful.
Okay.
So there's going to be a Pit.
Has anybody
2.
else watched the
Called,
Pit?
it's going to be called The Pits.
No?
I'm like 2 episodes in
Okay. Is this on his recommendation or did you just
No.
stumble upon it?
on my own.
Okay.
So
I'm so proud.
my concern with The Pit is this 15-hour shift that this gentleman had, and I'm sure shit gets real, but shit gets super real.
It's like
and
the extreme of it.
So like, where do you go from here?
Right.
You know, it's almost like they've done it all that they have to
You do a
offer.
slice of life with him doing paperwork for 15 hours because that's what the next day looked like.
Okay, well, we'll talk. And then don't even know if I'm up to date on Gemstones because I've been trying to get Andor in, and
I've been watching Gemstones.
Gemstones is great.
It's hilarious.
And I've been trying, and I finished The Pit. But I have one little story about. So we were listening to some music, and a song called "Take Me Back to Eden" came on, and my baby said, "What's Eden?" And I was like, "Well," so I gave her the whole rundown. Right,
like the whole Bible?
No, just the garden. Just the
Why
garden.
didn't you just play Lost in the Garden of Eden?
Just the hot topics.
So it's strictly Old Testament.
No, not even Old Testament. Strictly that
Genesis
first couple chapters.
Not even all of Genesis. Just that particular quick story.
Yep.
And I was like, so she couldn't eat the apple. And then she was like, "Well, what if you're really hungry?" And I was like, "Well, there's all the other food to choose from." And she was like, "What if you're really hungry for apples?"
Here's the point. And you see, dear Leia,
clearly relates to
you now understand the fall of man.
Yes.
Which I thought was just great. It's like, you got a hankering, you know what I mean? Like you gotta, like I got a fever.
She got a craving,
and the only prescription
just for the whole world.
More
That's
cowbell.
hilarious, man.
And then there's only 2 notes this week, which is a blessing. Wednesday season 2 trailer dropped. Did anybody see it?
No, I don't.
I did not yet, but I'm gonna check it out.
The first
I
season.
watched.
Did you watch the first season?
I did not. I don't have Netflix, but
Well, you haven't got to say that in a while.
But I said that should be a button.
Can we get a flex for that?
Sure,
mean,
but I have a hot take for this trailer.
Okay.
It's the best Netflix trailer ever cut.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm not going to get Netflix, and I don't really care to watch the first season. But objectively, I was like, "That's
Finally,
a good
trailer for
fucking
Netflix.
trailer from Netflix."
They're learning. The first season was good though.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. And then the other note I have in here is the Pee Wee Herman doc is now available on HBO.
I
or on Max.
Oh, it did drop.
Yeah,
I can't wait to watch it.
but they drop. I can't wait to watch it either.
Yeah, it's
like
amazing.
When I saw this trailer this morning, I was like, I gotta get one more episode of Andor in before.
I contemplated watching it on the drive here.
Yeah, it looks.
All right, here it is.
Amazing.
Here it is. You ready? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna wait till it comes out in the theater.
What if that's the fucking thing they do? Instead of all these kids in Minecraft, all these dudes going to watch Pee Wee.
Just coming up.
I'm gonna come.
Ropes.
That would
Sorry,
be amazing.
guys. That was
Deep.
No, that's perfect.
buddy.
That was good.
perfect.
That was good.
Well, for those of us that don't have impressive
Ejaculate?
length
I'll make it up for you.
distance and ejaculate.
Hold on, we didn't get these guys updated on their ejaculate.
Needs improvement, meets expectations, or exceeds expectations on your ejaculate.
Volume.
It's volume. It's an overall average of volume,
Distance,
and
consistency.
Oh,
Thickness.
Well, I'm not red riding it with anybody, so I'm not putting anybody's eye out. So I'm gonna say just meets expectations. But
Oh, she is out there.
Yeah, if she's willing. If she's willing to give a hot take.
Don't involve me in your shenanigans.
Hey, Sean gave us her hot take. When
She did. Is it called Pee Wee Herman doc?
I don't know because it's probably
actually
not.
called
It's probably
the theater, but it's spelled theater.
It's probably whatever his real name is. I don't know.
Oh, Pee Wee Herman show is on here.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So say hello.
Pee Wee.
Hello.
Hello. So this is a sensitive question.
Her face.
Look at the eyebrow.
How would you judge? And I'm going to put mine out there first, just so it's a safe space. I have needs improvement. I'm putting mine in needs improvement. But how would you judge Scott's ejaculate in terms of needs improvement, meets expectations, or exceeds expectations in terms of?
Because she was about to be out. She was about to be out.
In terms of volume, consistency, and
Distance. I like that she's giving a real thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right.
I think he had it. I think he had it right.
Meets expectations.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So Laura says that mine's all right too, but I know she's just ego stroking. I don't believe her. I don't believe her 'cause I told you because that porno.
Well,
Wait until the next time we record. Just
right.
wait.
I don't know. I think, what are you judging on? Like, some people are
So
excited because they can go
Far.
Yeah,
shoot
distance.
across the room.
Volume
Some
as
people it's a
well.
lot of
Some
it.
people's a
and
lot.
Some people it's
Hey, baby.
Hello. How are you, little lady?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Ready for some apples?
Well, I know. Hey, I got a question for you.
No.
Look at these two side by side, though.
No, listen.
You sure you're not related to Laura?
listen. Let me get the other question. Oh yeah. What about the apple in the Garden of Eden? Would you eat it?
If you're hungry for them, I assume you would.
If I'm hungry for an apple, I'm gonna eat it.
There you go.
Nothing's changed.
Now, Bobby, you know, every time you have apples,
there's so much what?
Things.
Does mine need help?
Groceries.
We're
almost done.
Oh.
There's so much groceries. Costco, our shopping cart was.
Enormous.
Yeah. Tell your mom she can use my chest freezer again if she needs.
Oh, that's yours?
In my garage, yes. The chest freezer in my garage is mine, yeah. Oh, no, actually, it is, actually.
Yeah, he's just holding it for me.
It smells really good.
What?
The one on the counter smells really good.
Oh, that cooler on the counter?
The bagels and pizza? Or the... We're getting ready to make some pizza.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll be up soon. For everybody.
Super nerd rage.
For lunch.
For everyone.
Yeah, for lunch.
Yep.
I've only seen 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Hey, and now there are more.
We're multiplying.
Just like that apple.
That's right. Hey, if you eat one, you might as well eat two, right?
So let me go into the question. So,
wait, I didn't get that.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I'm still putting eyes out.
Oh, okay. So you're exceeds.
Red Rider.
I think me and you may be the only two that admitted to.
Yep. And it's gotten worse since
prostate health.
I take a minimal testosterone booster. Now.
Oh, do you?
Well, there you
It's
go.
gotten worse.
It's gotten worse.
I mean, like, in a good way.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be Bobby TRT face.
Oh, never. Dude, I never say never, but I got enough problems as is. I don't want to take any testosterone. I'll be out here fucking fighting the neighbor for no reason.
No, the problem is if you drop below a certain level, you're going to be
yeah,
fucked.
it's that. I don't want none of that.
It's really important for men's health for you to be at level.
Oh, no. My levels are fine.
No, I'm saying when you drop below, you if you take it, it's going to
But maybe then I won't want to fight everybody and fucking fuck all the time. And then I'll be like, I probably need some testosterone.
That'll make you depressed. That'll make you depressed. It's like, I don't want to fuck anymore. That's not good.
Listening to Kanye, making bad decisions, wearing awful footwear.
Dude, make Kanye great again. How about that?
Oh man,
I think it's going to take some work to do that.
Statement,
dude. I in some ways he's never been greater. So I'll tell you this: it's the only Twitter account I check. There's one Twitter account that I check in the world, and it's his, and I check it every day.
Dang, you getting some gems.
Thomas J said, "What up, Spell Table? I'm curious as to your guys' thoughts on the newly announced PCS Collectibles museum scale Unicron statue in the crazy out the door price, and how much of the statue game nowadays just FOMO because even Prime 1 has a bunch of stuff marked down 60% and even higher.
That's too much.
Is there a piece you guys jumped the gun on and paid too much and see it heavily marked down later on? Much love, fellas.
I'm looking this thing up because
I've never seen
I'm not
it.
familiar.
He's sitting on a throne.
Oh, I have seen that. Looks great.
Here it is on Sideshow. Come on,
it's also
load.
so big.
How much?
$3,500.
That's fine.
Limited edition, 250.
It looks great though.
That's how much but the impracticality of that fucking throne is stupid.
Yeah.
So it is.
Because he doesn't stand on anything. He floats in space.
24 inches high, 43 and a half inches wide, and 20 inches deep. I mean, would that fit in in the module case?
That's the real big one.
No.
That thing is huge.
Yeah, this bigums for sure.
Yeah, I think it looks awesome. I don't have any interest in buying it.
3,500. I mean, I
don't really have that much interest in Unicron.
Dude, that's $3,500 plus shipping plus tariff tax.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I mean, you could buy
I'm talking $8,000 probably.
2 HasLab Unicrons for that.
Yeah, you could.
You could buy a lot more than that. They're not holding their value at this point.
No, they were about $1,800 last time, I saw.
Really?
Yeah, 18 to 2,000.
They still sell really well.
I mean, at the last 2 TFCons I've been to, I've seen them being sold on the floor for like $1,200.
So I don't think a TFCon is a place to sell that,
right?
Because people are worried about how to get it home,
right?
Right.
Well, to be fair, both of them did sell, but you're right; they might be dropping the price. So
well, because you got locals, right? So the locals are the ones that can make out.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you're right around that.
You know, and then you got to have a fucking pickup truck or some shit to put the goddamn box in.
What was
not going in the Civic?
I'm sorry. What was his question about it? Is it too much? Or?
I think it was more so the price.
When you buy it at list price, then you see it later.
And then that other part about like the statue game.
No. See, that's something to me. Like that's depending on where it's made and when it comes out, that could be a $7,000 piece.
100%.
And you know what? If somebody wants to pay $10,000 for it later, good on them.
But I'm not. For the sake of the conversation, I don't want to play the what if. Right.
Okay.
So it's 3,500. How do you feel about just that?
I mean, even that's still
that's steep.
A huge chunk.
That's steep.
I mean, that's more than I'm ever going to pay for a collectible.
And I think it's more than I would pay for a Unicron specifically.
Right. I would much rather buy a screen used something.
But I think the kind of person that's buying it right away when it first drops, there's value to having it first.
Yes, you're talking to me. I've spent that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the
I get
a
it.
meaningless character.
No. Not like you said, not on Unicron specifically, but for
something that meant
the question
something
is
to you.
like, would you drop this much money? But maybe the value would drop 60%. I don't care later. I want it now.
So
Right.
that's my thing with the other part.
Yeah.
Is like I don't speculate. I don't speculate.
On the market,
I don't,
quote unquote.
I don't buy things and worry about if I'm going to get it cheaper later on. Like either I want it or I don't.
Exactly. If I want it, it's worth it to me right now.
And then people are like, dude, it's 60% off now. I'm like, well, great.
I've had it.
Why don't you buy one?
Right.
I've got mine and I have no regrets.
Yep.
Yeah. Or if I do have regrets, I got to work on selling it.
Guys, listen.
But it's got nothing to do with the
We're looking
price.
at this right. It's 6 easy payments of $525.
I mean, the price is the price.
That's after your $350 NRD.
NRD. Nerd. Dang.
And Joey, you would know better than us because I don't really buy statues. What are you looking at? $450, $600 on shipping?
Oh, shipping.
Yeah, it can be. It can be up to that. I just had. Well, I haven't gotten it yet. Vampire Hunter D on a horse, 1/6 scale, was 3,000 something, and then the shipping bill came a month ago. It was like 400.
Yeah, and then you also run the risk with statues. I mean, just much like you would with any like Transformer or collectible, the breakage factor and no resolution there.
Well, it depends. I had one time I got an anime statue with this one place that had no resolution, and then I was shitting on them. But I haven't had any problems.
Okay. I've had stuff replaced.
Yeah, I've had stuff replaced.
Okay.
Like
Good.
it depends on who you're buying from. You're buying from Prime One, or places like that. You're gonna get a replacement.
Yeah, places that mass produce them, you'll probably get.
Yeah, or like a dealer that is reputable. If you get it from BBTS, they'll replace pieces for you.
Nice.
I got it replaced from that place stock.
Spec up. Yeah, that's why I get stuff.
I mean, it was a bit of an ordeal, though, wasn't it?
It was.
Also, some places, the shipping might be already included in the price.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing about buying from, and I know some of this stuff's not available domestically in any capacity, but
So a lot of times they ship
the
directly
day,
from the factory.
BBTS is going to take care of you because they have the buying power to get shit done. Whereas some of these other places.
Also, I'm like fortunate in that I'm relatively skilled. I can fix my shit.
Well, sure, yeah.
Not everyone can, but
like,
I can.
right,
yeah.
There's stuff I fixed where you can't tell that there's a difference.
Willie Whammo writes in and says, the Anakin problem. What up, Nerf herders? Hope all is well. With the hype around the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, it got me thinking, is Hayden Christensen Anakin and Clone Wars Anakin completely different guys? Clone Wars Anakin has confidence, genuine happiness, and chats it up with Rex and eventually the Bad Batch. Can you really see Hayden Christian chatting it up with Rex and the boys and being all jokey with Ahsoka? Seems like two completely different characters to me, while Obi-Wan stays mostly the same. My quick response to that is, a big part of why the Clone Wars exists is because people were dissatisfied with the fall of Anakin and how it happened, so they went to explore that more, so it would make sense that it would feel like a different character in some way.
Yeah, I mean, they're humanizing him essentially, right?
Yeah, no need to deep dive that. I'm with you in there.
Yeah.
I mean, when he showed up for the one good episode of Ahsoka,
Yes,
it
he
felt
does seem like that guy
it
from Clone
worked,
Wars.
like
Yeah.
it came
So-
together.
Yeah. But
So
but
it's
that's
just
also
it's a
that
character
actor,
arc over years,
that actor also has all of that to go off of now.
and not
Yes,
not
for sure.
George not George Clooney. I said they didn't have George Clooney to direct him.
Lucas.
George Lucas to direct him.
That'd have been an interesting take.
Clooney's dreamy.
I know
How is this
he's my
directing?
man crush, even as an old man. I'm like, that's the one. That's the one. I'm gonna put some Kanye on, and we're gonna get down.
Call him your cousin.
That's it, man. Are we related? Not that I know of.
Well, press play on the Kanye and call me a cousin.
I saw something the other day. It was, I don't remember what the context was, and believe it or not, it was not Alabama related. It was somebody said, "Are you talking about this married couple? Are you guys cousins?" And the guy's answer was, "Not that we know of." I'm like,
I mean, that's a good answer.
Or, is it?
Yeah, I mean,
You don't know.
I mean,
it depends on what you mean by cousin.
I mean, my wife and I are not cousins.
Your
I'll tell you that.
extended family. Who knows how, where
Well, we're
in your
all
branch.
cousins.
Exactly.
Even me and you are cousins.
Ever since that one girl ate the fucking apple.
That's right. Damn it, Leia.
We all came from two people. Supposedly, we all came from two people. We're all fucking family.
That's science.
All right,
Told you, Bobby.
So Rich says, greetings, gentlemen. This question, or a few questions, is for Joey. You have mentioned a few times on the show that you play Magic.
I brought my cards upstairs.
Out of curiosity, what formats do you prefer? If EDH is one of them, do you have any favorite commanders? And do you ever play on spell table? Wouldn't mind getting you in a game. Cheers. Also, just finished 501. Hope the recovery is going well.
Yes, my nuts are gnarly, but they're much better. Yes, Commander is
Pixar didn't happen.
favorite format. I used to play Standard, but I completely lost interest. I only play Commander. And yeah, I have used spell table.
Wait, that's a real thing?
It's a real thing.
And I thought it was just a gag.
I'm open to it, but I much prefer playing in person just because of the logistics of things. Unless they have a program like Arena where like they do the math and visually and stuff for you, it's too complicated to play. Online.
I have never played a tabletop card game.
It's super complicated these days. This one anyway.
I agree.
Of those games. I mean, I did almost buy that Yu-Gi-Oh thing to hold the card just because I thought it looked cool.
And my favorite commander is Lydiana because she's my favorite character, even though she's not the best commander.
So this is from Andrew M. What's up, Wizards? Seeing as all of you are a bit long in the tooth, and hopefully you're all still have a Social Security, and you'll also have Social Security in the next 3 to 6 years. Thoughts on how you'll spend your retirements certainly must have crossed your minds by now. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of men, after a certain amount of time, start to go a bit stir-crazy after a while of not having to work, and will find their retirement job just to keep them active, social, and of value to society in some sort of way or low-commitment work situation. If you had to pick a job where you retire, something in your twilight years, what do you think you'd enjoy doing?
Test audience.
Let's start there.
Test audience for porn.
Yeah, let's go. Test audience for porn. I would like. I mean, if it couldn't be related to any of this and had to be related to my 9 to 5, I would like to do teaching, like and educational stuff in that regard.
You have patience for that?
Yeah. 100%.
Well, you would have if you didn't get to choose your student like a real teacher. They just throw you a bunch of fucking knuckleheads.
I want the patience for that. Yeah, I want that.
Wow.
But, that's what I wanted.
Surprised.
I initially went to school to be just that. I went to school to be a high school.
You think you can reach these kids?
I do.
I'm sorry.
Better than touching the kids.
No, go ahead.
So I'll tell you mine. If and I'm assuming I've saved enough money where I don't have to work. I just have a job, and obviously I have a lot of hobby stuff. But if I needed to be out of the house, I'm gonna fucking go deliver auto parts 3 or 4 days a week. Because I ran auto parts stores for such a long time, and just having these old dudes around telling these fucking stories, and I have so many fond memories of that. And in a million years, I never thought, like, man, I'd love to be Terry Nave at the auto parts store telling. Terry Nave was probably my favorite character of all time that I ever worked with. He was this old guy. He'd come in every day, and he'd say, "Do any sticking last night?" And he's sticking. And he had this limerick. It was, when it's hot and sultry, that's no time for adultery. Hold on. The second part is the best part. When there's frost on the pumpkin, that's no time for Peter Duncan. So if it was any time, if we were wearing coats at all, he'd walk in and he'd go, "Woo, frost on the pumpkin." Maybe I'm just going to end up being Terry Nave.
What about you, Eric B?
Some type of mentorship program for sure. Like I'll be mentoring
people.
Will you mentor people that are delivering auto parts?
In regard to your job, or like Big Brother type shit.
Yeah, something like that. Or working in the world of sickle cell.
Would you call people Young Buck? Would you call them Young Buck?
Pop Squally, all of that.
Farrell?
So we talked about this kind of last night. So I signed up for a cancer screening.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't really want to know. Because I'd rather just
get
agree. It and then... So my retirement plan is just to die.
Honestly, mine is too.
Listen,
I thought he was going to say,
hang on a sec. I need to explore this with Farrell real quick. So you don't plan to live long enough to have to worry about being bored in retirement? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I'd prefer that.
So, okay, in this scenario, what bullshit or important mentoring or, job would you like to have? That's I think what the question was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
but we can also just let it go because we're fucking got more questions.
Yeah, I mean,
oh shit,
I don't know. I don't really care what the job is. it doesn't really matter to me.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I really don't want to fucking work. I don't
Jizz
understand.
mopper.
I don't want to work at all. If I can stop working today and never to work again, I would love that.
No, I agree with you. It's a what if scenario.
Yeah, I would never choose to do something I didn't have to do.
I don't feel the same way, but
yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't.
I enjoy my job. I like my job.
Yeah,
I work at a fish store.
Fish.
That's a fishmonger. A fishmonger.
Hello, lady.
Like an aquarium.
Aquarium.
Okay. Not a
Oh, I thought you
Not like chopping up and
You know,
filleting
fish
them.
market. You could do both.
1 pound fish.
Yeah.
Sam.
Probably be on a farm.
Really?
Oh wow.
My family are a lot of farmers, and I've done a lot of work around the farm.
What do they farm?
What kind of
There's something-
farm? Plant farm or animal farm or
Both.
Nice.
Okay, a full-on farm.
Animal farm.
that's
And
a movie.
Yeah.
There's been something pleasant and peaceful. About
Is it?
helping
It seems
out
like a lot of hard work.
No, it's not that
From
bad.
4 in the
We
morning
used
to
go
like
down
whatever.
every summer
No?
to Tennessee and do the same thing.
I mean, it's a lot of hard work, but I think
And you'll be
there'd something-
old at this point. We're talking about retirement.
Yeah, I'd
you get up
probably
at 4 anyways. You
joining
might as well go feed the
for
fucking
part of it.
I think
Nerf
I mean,
when
you like it, you like it. I'm not saying you have a bad answer. I'm just
when you
like,
have the elder statesman bit, like as a retired person, I feel like you can like pick and choose what you want to do. So you're like, I just want to feed the cow.
And it is something relaxing to it. too.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I'm not the only guy running.
Oh,
the
okay.
entire
No, some
farm.
people do. No, some people are like, I want to run a farm, and they're like one dude and like plot of land doing shit.
And I would work at the zoo if I could help with like the
monkey part.
Yeah, the apes. If I could help with the apes,
I
would-
feel so bad.
I would volunteer at the zoo.
All
I
right.
hate that you would ask
But no, but some of them, like if you go to like the one at like Baltimore, like the Baltimore one is like they're happy, like they got a good little exhibit going on, like like if some like the Washington one is the sad one, but
Bobby, what
They're
would you
prisoners.
yeah,
do? What would you do at the zoo?
I don't know, whatever they wanted me to.
Would you like pet the donkey and
Look pon the monkey, pet the donkey them. Okay, so he said, with Bobby reminiscing a few different times about the barbershop experience, I could see him getting into haircutting. I think you might enjoy the craft of it as well. You could call your place Bobby Skull Cuts or Shea Bob if you went the classy women's hair route, salon route. No, I would like
Well,
nothing.
you'd be a hater, right? You'd be like, everyone has hair but you. And
Well,
then
hang
just
on.
cut
Here's
people's
the
hair.
caveat.
It would really be. I don't want anything else to lead to my potential arthritis.
Here's the caveat. Bobby's wearing the mask while you get your hair cut.
No, the real
It's quite a
caveat.
unique experience. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said, that's not a 4, it's a 1. Sorry,
He
bald
said,
man.
I could see Chris teaching wrestling at a local high school in a sort of washed up Cobra Kai angle, reminiscing about the glory days of amateur wrestling.
It's definitely not amateur wrestling, I'll tell you that.
He said, Joe, I think, would refuse anything that involved direct contact with other people and would choose to become on eBay antique toy flipper through an online store. Either that or filling the elderly man niche on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I think Farrell would find a sleazy college bar by the coast to bartend at while downing a few drinks through his shift.
buddy. Totally you.
I think that's it.
I also wanted to check if any of you had started Adolescence on Netflix. Feels like a show Bobby might actually enjoy. About
On
a
my
13-year-old boy is accused of murder in a small town. How his family and friends are affected by it. Only 4 episodes total. Every episode is shot like a continuous take with no cuts. I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, I hear it's shot beautifully.
Good show.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't have Netflix, though.
Really,
No.
really interesting. Like to
Concept,
watch
yeah.
because they do something with that one take thing. Like it works.
Really?
Like there's a point where the kid, not to spoil things, but like there's a run away from something from through the school, and it's great. Like the way it's shot.
I might have to check that out. I love
It's
one
really
shot
good.
stuff.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Next is from Billings. What up, Billings? He said, hello, gentlemen. This one is mainly for Chris.
Oh.
Have you ever attended midget wrestling? And yes, that's the term they use. It seems to be in tall order around here. I've never seen it around until the last 6 months or so. They've had several events. I guess it's in high demand now. So the husband, myself, and a group of Miss Billings and a group of friends got tickets and are going this week. I'll let you know if it lives up to the hype. And then she sent me.
No, I've never been.
I see it on Instagram nowadays.
Yeah, there's several troops touring the country right now, going to all sorts of different. I mean, like my buddy that lives in Maine, so they're
What are
coming.
they in like a little caravan?
I'm not exactly sure
The
of the
biggest
logistics.
RV you've ever seen.
I'm not exactly sure
for that one.
of the logistics of it all, but I mean, hey, good on them for being out there making money doing something, right? And look, I mean, I had little people that wrestled for me, and it was an attraction. Yeah. I had one guy that came pretty regular, and the other guy was like, It was impossible to get him to come to the country music barn.
Astartes Pete writes in and says, "Hello, lovely boys. Hope you're good. First, a quick rest in peace to David Schleinkoffer, who has passed away recently. David was the man behind the iconic Space Battle box art from the Transformers G1 toy boxes. There's also a creator spotlight coming to sit down Saturday on that same topic.
Nice.
Staying with the Transformers theme, I've backed my first Kickstarter as Hasbro, Skybound, and Image have launched a G1 Marvel Comics compendium, collecting the full US and UK Marvel runs. It's currently selling at sitting at 3.2 million, and it's 17 stretch goal from a target of 40,000. So pretty sure we'll get this one. Have you gents gone in on any Kickstarters, and if so, which ones? If not, why? And what would get you to the table? So I'm probably going to go in on this book just to finally read that story one day, mainly so I can have an opinion and shoot down people that tell me it's so good, because I've yet to be impressed by any of the small bits that I've read.
You can also do video essays on it.
So I'm going to do that. So that'll be the first one that gets me. And
that's the first Kickstarter you've done?
It will be the first one. And Top Cow has something going on right now.
Yeah, with the art book, yeah.
The art book, I'm going to get that also.
They're good. I've gotten all the Darkness Kickstarters so far.
I've done, I don't know, probably dozens of Kickstarters over the years. I've been burnt three times actually on Kickstarter. I actually did a Kickstarter. Put my, however you say it, pledge in on the Expanse comic Kickstarter. It actually crept up with me. I think it ends.
Which level? Are you getting the Amos figure?
No, and I got to looking at like a lot of the stuff in this offering is like they've done a lot of graphic novels over the years, and they're just putting them in hardcover for the first time and including them. I already have them in the softcover. I got the deluxe hardcover version of the book, and then some of the tchotchke shit that was added on. I think that's $115 pledge is what I put in.
Cool.
I mean, so let's do the math. That's a $300 pledge if things stay the same, I would imagine. But yeah, I've done a lot. I did a lot of toy Kickstarters over the years, and books like that big G.I. Joe book that remember you were at NJC, that guy. So I did the Kickstarter for that. I mean, the things I've been burned on are new companies, right? So one of them is actually a guy locally here was doing like blank bodies. Like this was years ago. He did skeletons and like a muscle bound. Never did anything. He never produced them. And then that guy, he put out another Kickstarter before that funded for like some military style figures that he went belly up on all of it. And the other one was a watch. I bet on it. Never. And honestly, I forgot about it. Bid on fucking whatever. Put in on it, and it never did anything.
Eric?
That's the thing that sucks about it.
I've never done any Kickstarters, but I seriously thought about backing that Airwolf one. But now Ramen might be doing it, so
yeah.
But that's it.
Farrell?
The only Kickstarters I've done is supporting young ladies getting through college. And I've never gotten a follow-up. So.
Scott?
No Kickstarter. Same with him. I'm going to go in on the Airwolf. I almost did it.
But outside of that brand, you guys have obviously done the HasLabs and other crowdfunded.
A little bit different.
But not like a Kickstarter thing. Yeah, but that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, the HasLabs are different because if it gets funded, it's going to happen.
Sure.
Right.
I've only ever Kickstarted one thing. It was the Mars Toys Tetra Any day now is my guess.
Bobby, did you do the art for that?
Not that one.
Oh, okay.
Not that one. You know what's fucked up? I say it all the time, but Cody, they had a pipes planned, and Cody did the art for the pipes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did actually at one point when I was bored, before I made my own little pipes, go in and
so to speak.
And I have most of a one-to-one recreation of their never produced pipes because it was a really simple design to copy.
Yeah.
And I can't really decide if I should do anything with it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess get your money back.
Yes, I'll start selling them. And I will also take the chance to thank Pete again for the Galvatron.
Oh, yeah, and thank you. He also sent me the last two Magic Square Stunticons I was missing. I made an offhand joke about it recently, and he was like, "Hey man, I'll," because I said I was going to buy the New Age Stunticons just so people didn't gift me one or two, and then I got to buy the rest. And he was like, which ones are you missing? And I said this, and he's like, I'll send them to you. And I was like, you don't have to, and went through all that spiel, and then eventually I gave in. So thank you, Star Teaspoon.
Yeah,
and then,
I have gone several Kickstarters, but mostly big company, reputable companies like Top Cow. I've gotten
you got the
playmats from Magic.
Oh, okay.
The Gathering. Top Cow. They have 3
the
Darkness volumes
yeah.
so far. That's signed by Mark Silvestri, and
it's fucking cool.
Yep.
I thought about going in on those, but I think it's going to get me with this art one.
Yeah, they've had the Witchblade ones. I mean, I like compendiums because like you don't have to hunt for fucking Lucy's or trades. Like,
and it has
entire thing is in there.
It has mass and presence.
Yes, it looks good on the shelf.
Yeah,
and it's all in a set, so you keep buying them.
I agree. So this was a unique one. Thank you guys for all being a part of it. We got a lot more stuff to do. If you're not familiar, here at the end of the show, you say an adjective and a body part, so be prepared for that. We shout out Phil on our notes and on Twitter, and Dante on Facebook, of course. And with that,
Flappy Labius,
Wet Knee,
Jiggly Jugs,
Moist Thighs,
Large Areolas,
Tasty Taint,
Tight Dick Player.